Hello. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Is everything working okay? Am I coming through okay? Let's ask that before I go off on one and it's all silent. But I can see things bouncing. It should be all right. Hi, everyone. Hey, Joanna. How's it going? Hello, Great Western Trail fans. It starts now. It starts at 4 o'clock. It should be up on the screen when it starts. You will sit here and wait, though. I'll tell you that. Yeah, so this is Great Western Trail that's coming through. It's all okay? Great, great, great. Right, so this is Great Western Trail Argentina, part of a one-day grand trilogy that started with the original Great Western Trail. It got a second edition some point last year. It's getting, like, its second edition of its expansion is coming out as well. That's pretty much as it was with the addition of a solo mode. Argentina is a completely standalone game. You can just come in at this point if you would like. A lot of it is the same. So, if you are familiar with Great Western Trail, you will be familiar with the path that we are going down. Our hand of cattle cards are largely similar playable. There's a few different things, like this grain track and stuff. There are some extra things included. So, some things work quite similarly, like rather than the locations that we are delivering cattle to, we have these ships that we deliver cattle to. It's not exactly the same, as we'll see, because at various points in the game, those locations are going to go away and different ones will replace them, as well as the cattle refilling at various points as the job market goes down. There's still locations to build, flip sides of those that we all decide who's going to use which side. Neutral locations, you can jumble those all up before you start playing. I've just got them in the standard configuration, the station master tiles you've seen before, but we've now got these shipping ports that we can get discs in, and when we make deliveries we can move our discs from these ports to the locations and earn extra points and money in that way if we can pay grain. There's also a grain cost for shipping your cattle off to the various ships, and if you can't pay the grain cost, then you got to pay a lot of pesos, and so that's going to cut into your just earned money from having got to Buenos Aires in this version. So yeah, there's a few extra things to think about. It's not just having the right number in your hand, the highest number possible as it was before, because the better boat that you go on, it's going to cost you more and more grain. And also, when the ship goes away, your disc on it moves to a particular port here that's going to give you access to different locations to try and get points in. There's a race as well, because in a two-player game, you see there's a lot of locations there in Le Havre, but these great big compasses here cover up a load of spaces for the two-player game. So especially when we get to Liverpool, it's all going to be quite tight there. You see there's one location per cardinal direction. There's some other things as well. As exhaustion cards are in there. We've got one in our decks to begin with. They are just, they're nothing cards. They're -2 points at the end of the game. We want to get rid of them. And we've got, slightly different workers and a new type of worker that is going to help us get grain and will be referenced in the various versions as well. Now, the solo mode is quite similar as well. So we are playing against Pedro, who starts with a worker. That's their specialization. Their action cards are going to make reference to the specialization that they have often as well. And their building tiles, the same selection as ours, they're going to put them out when their cards tell them to. They don't really rely on the particular location that they visited. The card tells them where they're going and what they're doing. And there are difficulties that you can play on that are going to change their experience level. This is referenced in a lot of the cards. And their loading priority, which boat they want to get on. And this is going to change throughout the game as we go through these stages of cards. But also there's 3 difficulties that you can play with. I'm playing on easy, because why not? So that's the solo person that we are playing against. We are the first player though. So we make the first move, and the only thing really to do is to decide where we're starting, because we can start on any of the locations on the board and go for those actions. I'll say what I'm doing though all the way through. If you're completely new to any Great Western Trail, but yeah, there's a load of discs, there's a load of moving parts, but really, you move into a place, you're doing some actions there, and trying to get the best cards to go to the final location with. There's more to it than that, of course, but that's basically how you can think of it at the start. So there's no campaign or anything as far as I know. I've got it here. It doesn't reference any kind of campaign. No, it's similar to the second edition one, as I remember. Yeah, the solo mode. It's got an extra thing with the loading, because yeah, it's not as the locations you're delivering to aren't static like they were before. Although the expansion did change that, didn't it, in original Great Western Trail as well. So yeah, the location we're starting at is basically a location or a set of locations we're not going to get to this round, because you have to move on your turn. So you're not going to get to visit the place that you're starting at. And I was thinking I might like to build on my turn. So we have all these different meeples that you can choose, and like in the second edition of Great Western Trail, they've got lovely little hats that you can pop on them, depending on what colour that you're playing as. So hopefully, that shows me the job market. This one shows me the bottom of the board. I know my buttons. They change every single stream. You've got to learn all these things. Then, yes, this location here, when you visit a location on your turn, after we've done all of our movements, usually, if it's a neutral building or one of your own buildings, so your player colour, you'll get to do some actions at the bottom of it. You can choose to do all of them, some of them, it's up to you. And so sometimes they'll want you to have cards, so I could discard a white 2 from my hand. I don't have one. And I've got to start somewhere, so I wasn't going to get to do this one, basically. And then I can hire some people. I can hire one person at their cost, or 2 people for an increased cost. Another thing that's changed, as well as the types of workers, the 3 that existed in Great Western Trail, they are, the same functionally. They're different artwork and different names, of course. And there is the new type, the Granjero. But there is an extra element onto your workers as well. They beef up your actions, they go on your player board activating special abilities, but a new thing that they've got is strength. So strength makes them cost extra money as well. And there are buildings and stuff that will enhance your strength. That's because certain actions on the board, and if you end your movement on one of these Granjero tiles, you can help them out. And if you have the required strength, so if you're just helping one out, it's just the strength on them. If you're helping up to 3 with a special action that you've took, then yeah, you've got to have that total strength. Amongst workers that you've got, bonuses on your player board that you've unlocked, and you can discard cattle cards as well. So another thing for cattle cards, you want high numbers, you want lots of points, but also you want them because they're worth loads of strength as well to help you get more people. Because those Granjeros, if you can pay for them, they can go straight onto your player board. And if you can't pay for them, they go to the side of your player board. You can't pay for them later. They go to the side of your player board, and they're going to be worth at least 2 points each at the end of the game. So yeah, it's a good thing to be going for as well. So kind of like an extra avenue as well. Like, if you take it just at the base game's value, like ignore Rails to the North, because that added some of its own things as well, then yeah, it's a lot of the Great Western Trail base formula, but with these extra things to think about on top. And yeah, someone mentioned the other version as well. Yeah, Mikhail mentioned the New Zealand version is the other one that's coming out this time next year. And that'll have sheep instead. Include a Beatles mechanic. Unfortunately, I haven't found one yet. It looks a bit pre-Beatles, which I think is a misstep in the publishing. If you're going to do a grand trilogy and one of them isn't a Beatles edition, then yeah, you've missed a trick. Where are, like, when people say missing themes in board games, I'm going to change my answer to Beatles. Yeah, we've got pesos at the moment. Unfortunately, my Marty Bucks stock is a little bit limited because there was a mishap. Something got spilled. live in a stream at some point. But yeah, they will get fixed at some point. I thought I'd show you the thing as well, because this is one of my many, part of the reason that it's live. There's a lot of Essen games to cover and not a lot of time before Essen. So yeah, I thought I'll show you what it's all like at the moment. Will there be Rails to the North for the second edition? Yes, I believe, was it showing at Gen Con? I don't know if it's come out just yet, but yeah, there is a second edition Rails to the North. Whether it's come out just yet, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's coming out adjacent to this, as far as I know. So yeah, I'm going to start here, and on my turn, it says on your player board what your phases of your turn are. You move up to this many locations. A location is a bit of cardboard on the board, a tile, whether that's one of your locations, someone else's locations, whether it's one of the Granjero tiles, they all count as one. So at the start of the game, we can only move 3. Later on, as we upgrade things, we will be able to move more and more. Then you take an action in the place that you are. Looks like there's a lot of information there, but really, all this is saying, if it's yours or a neutral location, you can do the actions on the location, or you can forfeit all of that to do an auxiliary action. We haven't got many at the start of the game, but we can unlock more of them as we go along. If it's someone else's location, you've only got the option of an auxiliary action. And if it's a Granjero, you can still choose an auxiliary action, or you can choose to help them out and potentially recruit them, as long as you've got the strength that you need. There's still the hands mechanic, so like you can see on various things, on buildings that we will put out later, and also the Granjeros that are on the board, they have got green and black hands on their tiles. They are going to cost money to go on or past. So they make these particular routes risky. That's why if you build buildings in those spaces, the buildings have an extra action on them, an extra bonus that you can take, because there's a risk of it being very expensive, potentially, well, not unaffordable actually, because you can only pay all of your money. You can't be forced to go into debt or anything with these farmer things. But yeah, there's risk involved in getting to these places. It might cost you a ton to get that little extra action, and it might not have been worth it. So I'll stop blabbing on, and let's do my thing. The final step of your turn is fill your hand back up to 4, because you might have spent some cows. So over here at location B, it's a neutral location. I can do its actions, so I can discard, so not take out of the game, I can discard a green 2, which is a Patagonico, and I can get 2 money for that. I'm going to do that. I've got one in my starting hand. 2, it's a better number than 1, isn't it? You want the best numbers to get to the end with, but yeah, we've got to do something on the way there. You can't just skip straight to the end, and we can do stuff with this money. I'm going to do stuff with it very shortly. So I've got 9 now. You start with 7 because you're the first player, and then the other action here is I can build one of my buildings. So there's no helpful remember the terms of the workers. I'm going to use the proper terms. If I can flip to the right page. Oh, why can't you remember that? It's Carpintero. Carpintero. There isn't even an extra I in there. Yes, I can use my Carpinteros to construct one of my buildings. So all of the types of workers, you have one of them at the start of the game. So I can construct a building up to the number of Carpinteros that I have, which is 1. So I can build one of these buildings. As I mentioned, all of these are double-sided, but we decide between us at the start of the game. You can just use all the A's, all the B's, randomize it, but everyone has the same set to go with. So I can build one of these buildings. The cost to build it is going to be 2 for every Carpintero that was used. So basically, I can build one of these and it's going to cost me that 2 that I just earned. So popping these out, if I put this out, I might earn some money if Pedro goes past my building here. That's all right. It's only 1 money in the solo game, because this here is a little tile that changes based on the player count. It changes the costs that it's going to be for the various hand symbols. So yeah, I might earn some money that way. And if I go on here, then I can earn myself a grain important, as we said, for every building that I have built in farmland. Farmland is a building that's got this ear symbol it's referred to in the rulebook. It is an ear of corn, isn't it? Of wheat? Is there ears of wheat? They're all over the board. If you build in there, you can bump up that building. So that's something that I could do, but I think I'm going to go for the other one. So this one here is, you can do an auxiliary action, potentially a double auxiliary action if you've unlocked it. And the other action is move your person along another space and have a whole action phase again on the next tile. So that's what I am moving towards. So I can build it. It's going to cost me 2. So I'm back where I started money-wise. And then I decide where I'm going to put it. So this isn't about getting in the way of anyone. If I put it behind myself, then it's not going to, make me take any more steps on the way to Buenos Aires. But if I put it in front of myself, if I do put it behind myself, though, I'm not going to be able to use it this time. So that's the trade-off, and you've got to decide, like, if it's going to put me one step forward, which action do I want to take straight afterwards? So I'm not going to get to hire anyone. I'm only going to get to go up to 3 spaces in front anyway. So where would I like to pop it? Do I want to put it in farmland and think about having that tile out in future? I don't know how many things I'm going to end up building over the course of the game anyway. So yeah, I think I'm going to pop it here. So not going for the old farmland, you can put it in any available space. You can also upgrade your buildings later on. But we're not doing that just yet because you can't upgrade until you've done something. So I've done both of the things on my building there. I turned in a card, I built something, and last step of your turn, refill your hand. So my hand limit is 4, something else that can be upgraded throughout the game. Draw back up, and I have got a black 2, a Fronterizer, and that is it for my turn. I promise the other turns will be faster than that. I'm just explaining all the stuff. You know that, though. I'll make it take long explaining than I'm explaining. Okay, Pedro's turn, and he has got some, well, not flowcharts. They're quite simple, like, priority lists for his thing. Of course, there are no player aids available yet, so we might be flipping through rules. Okay, then, so this is going to tell us what Pedro wants to do. So he is going to move a space for every... Get the names of the workers right. Gaucho, Carpintero, Machinista. I remembered Machinista. It's the only one that I could remember off the top of my head. Yeah, so he has 2 gauchos, so he's going to move 2 spaces. He starts on this blue spot. Doesn't matter if other people are there or anything like that. His priority is he wants to move the fastest route to Buenos Aires. He is just racing there. He also, if he's got multiple choices, he will go the cheaper route. So he's not going to intentionally go to spaces that will pay out money. And then his tiebreaker after that is spaces that aren't going to earn me money. So he doesn't mind paying money as long as it's to the bank. And he doesn't use money anyway. He's not bothered in that sense. It's not going to mess him up in that way. And then his other thing is asking, what is his priority? What is his specialty? So this was decided at the start of the game. He drew randomly from the worker bag and got a gaucho. The worker type he's got the most of is his specialty. So gaucho is his specialty. That means he is going to buy cattle. Let me get his priority for this. Oh, it's on his tile. It's on his tile. So how many gauchos has he got? He's got 2 gauchos, so this is going to be what he tries to get from the display. So if he's not specialized, yeah, he chooses an option according to the number of gauchos that he has. If multiple of the same value are available, he chooses the ones with the highest amounts of victory points. So we look at what's available just under the board. There's the button. You can just about squash Great Western Trail Argentina onto this table, by the way. So he's going to take a 3 of any colour or a 1. This gives him more options. So if he tried to get cattle and there weren't any 3s left, he would just draw cards instead. He would just put more cattle into the market. So the option to take a 1 instead, like, gives him more options to be able to do things. And these cards will just go into his victory pile. He doesn't use a cattle deck or anything like that. So yeah, he chooses the option according to the... Oh, that's if he hasn't got enough. Yeah. So there's 3s available. He isn't really bothered about the colour of them. He just wants the most points. So he's not going to go for the Serrano that's only worth 2 points. He is going to go for the Blanco Orinegro, which is worth an extra point to him. Just goes in a stack. That's going to be 3 points that he's banked. That's his turn, basically. He is not really... He's not going to the locations and doing the specific things there. He's doing things according to what his cards say. Right then. So that's his turn. He doesn't need to refill his hand or anything like that. So it's up to me again. And what do I want to do? So I think we're not going to get much information from the south side of the board now. Here we go, the other locations. So one step. I'm not going to go this way and have to pay. Obviously, I'll just go the cheap way, and it's fewer steps in case I want to go further. So I could go here. This is get an objective card. Objective cards can be worth points. They're in your deck though, so it's a card you're potentially not drawing, but they do have an extra action that you can get. An auxiliary action. At the start of the game, all I've got is earn a peso and draw a card and then discard a card. So I could do one of those. That would be nice. Move my train forward. Always a nice thing to do. Moving your train forward lets you potentially upgrade these stations. That gets you discs off your board. And if you're willing to give up workers, then you can get these station master tiles, which give you an ability for the rest of the game, potentially, and extra scoring opportunities for the end. And there is a new thing. I forgot to mention this in all of my new stuff at the start. If you move your train along, you unlock shortcuts. So you can see these little inlets here in the train route. If you move your train, say up to 3 there are certain tiles that can go out and get in the way of you getting to Buenos Aires here. If you've got your train to at least 3, you can just kind of circumvent one of those spaces, even if there's a load of tiles there. Same up here. You can even get to Buenos Aires on like location F. You don't have to do this whole last bit of the trail. You've still got the choice of going a different path. It's just, it's up to you. But yeah, if you can do loads of train movements, you can essentially cut your path, not quite in half. Well, I suppose it depends where people put the houses. But yeah, you can unlock these massive shortcuts. So that's another big benefit of doing the trains in this one. I think though I am going to go to my newly built building. I haven't got any double auxiliary actions, unfortunately. You unlock those by when you get to move a disc, move in one of these discs from an already unlocked action. So instead of getting 1 money, you'd get 2. Or draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. So coming up is an action to get rid of a pair of cards. I already have a pair of cards and it's a low number, so I'm kind of happy with the cows that I've got for now. I might just earn a money as the auxiliary action. And later on, as I unlock more of those, that's going to be a better and better space. I'm hoping. And then the other action is move 1 step forward. There we go. And do the whole action phase again. So I can get rid of these 2. So if I'm about to come up to that and I haven't got a pair of cows, I could potentially do some drawing and stuff and try and get the ones that I need. So I've got a pair of 1s there. I can give those in for 2 pesos. So I'll do that. Because when do you not need money? I'm hoping to get cattle next time, I think. I haven't got many gauchos though, so I'm not very good at getting cattle. And then for every machinista, I can move my train 1 step forward. So I'm still getting to move my train forward. I've only got 1, the starting one that everyone's got. So, oh dear, microphone right in the way. I am now on step 1 of the train track. Right, I've done those things. I have got rid of 2 cards from my hand, so I need to draw back up a 1 and a 2. Not too bad. I've got a feeling that's going to change throughout the game. Well, not throughout the game, throughout like the rest of my trip to Buenos Aires. But we'll see how that goes. I've improved it from its starting point at least now by 1. Hey Christopher, how's it going? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like it's the opposite, isn't it? The board's kind of mirrored. Like, didn't you start down here and I can't remember where we were going to in Great Western Trail, no? Yeah, the location was the other way, wasn't it? It's a bit strange, like I'm sure like the main stuff was on the other side. It's all kind of mirrored to me. Right, so Pedro's gonna go. Yes, it's solo mode. Yeah, I really like the train shortcut thing. Right, Pedro, what you up to? He is going to move just a straight 3 spaces. And this only matters, as I said, like he's ignoring the locations, but he is also, a timer for us. So he will skip my thing because he doesn't want to waste a step on it. So 1, because this path goes this way. 2, 3 is where he ends up. And we can kind of judge that. He might be racing us through the game, especially because one of the trigger for the end of the game is the job marker falling off the bottom of the job market. And more people come out as we go to Buenos Aires. The final trigger of the game will be someone going to Buenos Aires, and only the other person gets 1 more turn. And ideally, you'd want to be in a position to get to Buenos Aires yourself when the game does end. Right, so he's moved 3. And then he is going to help out a Granjero, but he's going to remove it from the game. So when he has to choose a Granjero, one of these small tiles, first of all, he is going to choose the one with the highest pesos reward. So you would get money for helping them out. There are 2 there that would reward you with 1 peso. The lowest required strength value, this one's 7, this one's 4, so it would be this one. And there's no tie anymore, but if there was still a tie, it would be in the order yellow, orange, blue, green. So he is going to take this. If we had any coins, which is what you have to pay when you go past them, you don't pay them to the bank, you pop your coins on here, and when someone helps them out, they get those coins and the coins underneath their space. So they've got there, and because the card that we drew for Pedro had this X on it here, he is just removing it from the game. He's not keeping it by himself and getting 2 points at the end. So I'll just pop that up at the top. And then the other thing that he's doing is taking grain. How much grain does he get? His XP amount, which on easy difficulty is 1. He gains 1 grain. Right. That's his whole turn, isn't it? Okay, so what do I want to do? I have now got a black 2, so I could get rid of it for 2 and then get cattle. But if we look down, trying to remember the right button. Oh, we get the wrong button. If we look down at the cattle that I can get, I only have 1 gaucho. So my options are buy this orange 1 for 4 money, buy one of these 3, so it's a red 3, for 5, buy a 4 for 11. I can't buy 5s. You have to have at least 2 gauchos for that. So with that in mind, do I want to buy cattle? It would be nice having the money. See what's coming up. I'm going to have to pay some money. There's no way around this, is there? Oh, you can't see what I'm pointing at there. While he's there, I've got to pay some money to go past him. It's only 1. Oh no, it's 2. Green is 2. Oh no, we can go this way. We can go this way, of course. So I could just skip past 1, 2. I thought that was harsher. 3. So I could just move my train again and do an auxiliary action. That doesn't seem as good. Getting a certificate, that helps you reach the numbers when you hand all of your cattle in, and help up to 3 Granjeros. I haven't got much strength though. Haven't got any workers yet, because that's the very first tile on the map. My cattle, I could potentially rustle up if I was to draw loads of cattle. The downside of spending a load of cattle to boost your strength up. Look at this, I could get 2, 4, 6, 7 strength by spending these cards. If you spend 1 to 2 cattle cards to boost your strength to help the Granjeros, you've got to take an exhaustion card. A card that does nothing, a card that just gets in the way and loses you 2 points at the end of the game. So you have to take one of those if you use 1 to 2 cattle cards. If I used all 4 cattle cards, I might be able to help some people right out, but I would have to take 2 exhaustion cards. I've already got 1 in my deck. I don't particularly like the idea of that. And up here, I don't particularly like that. Whereas next time, if I go and get cattle now, and then 1, 2, 3, I could get a grain for every grain hero. I wouldn't have any though, because I haven't helped any out. I could get rid of an exhaustion card or do an auxiliary action. I might have drawn an exhaustion card by that point. There is one in my deck, but I haven't drawn that many cards yet, and your deck is 15. I've got a lot of money. Maybe we should get some cattle. I've got no grain either. So I would like... Yeah. I would like to help people out. I just feel like the exhaustion that I would take on would really get in my way later. As long as you go to that space and get rid of some before, or use your discard action though, maybe it's not a terrible thing. Yeah, I don't want to miss out on getting some cattle. I'm going to improve cattle. And then we'll help them out, I promise. Right, so I'm going to discard a black 2. Oh, almost picked up the right one. I've got one honest. To get 2 pesos. And then we can get a cattle. Which cattle should I get? So I have got 9, 11, 12 cash. So I could, if I want to spend most of my money, I could get myself the best one out there, really. More points, more strength just in the one card. And it's a 4 just in itself for helping me reach the higher numbers. But that is a ton of money. It's just that I don't need really to have a load of money though, do I? I'm going to get money at Buenos Aires. Am I going to need it beforehand? I don't think so. Hopefully I could earn it back in the future. It is much, much cheaper getting a 3. And they have still got 4 strength on them. Yeah, I'm gonna cheap out. I'm just gonna pay 5 money and get a Serrano. 3, 4, 5. Fine with that. So they go in my discard pile. And so we've improved it hopefully for later. Yeah, I might go and help people out later if I've still got some good strength. So I've done both of the things on my action. I draw back up. It's a 1. Not so good for the strength. Not so good for going to Buenos Aires either. There's no more discard spaces, is there? Now you do start with one of these exchanges. So I can draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. And I can do that at any point. So it might be that I just use that going into Buenos Aires. I think, yeah, there'll be hardcore fans that really want, like, the whole thing. But I think it will be nice as well, like, to pick and choose it. Like, if you don't want to go into, like, the expansion and stuff, this has got more in it than base Great Western Trail, right? Without adding maybe as much overhead as the expansion. The expansion did make Great Western Trail amazing. Like, it was a great game to begin with, but so much better. But with that comes loads of extra, like, thought and AP and stuff. And yeah, like I said earlier about the sheep, there's something surprisingly appealing about it being sheep. And New Zealand. I'd like the setting as well. Like, I think it will. It's not going to suddenly be everyone that all of the appeal that Great Western Trail has had for all these years is suddenly going to transfer onto this. But I think that there might be people that didn't really fancy the Old West, the American West theme of before. Maybe, who knows? Thanks, Sherlock. Enjoy your dinner. Hey, Skycraft as well. I think you can be. I think you can be helpful. The core Great Western Trail is still there. There's just extra things we got to think about now. Right, Pedro, what's he up to? He is going to... Oh, this is still on camera. So he has got 1 Machinista. Yeah, I should have warned. Like, you'd know by now. warned right at the start, mispronunciations will abound. His specialization is not Machinista, and then if his specialization is either of the other two, oh, there we go. So if his specialization was Machinista, he would move his train forward that many spaces. If it's anything else, he just moves his train forward one space. So just gonna pop his train forward one space, and then that's it, isn't it? Right. So what am I gonna do? I was thinking of helping out, wasn't I? I could get a certificate which might help with my cattle situation. Who are the easiest people to help out? 3 strength needed, 4. The most strength I can muster up is 6. So I could only help 1 Granjero out. I would have the money to employ the person I helped out. I would get a grain now. I could get a grain in a minute. So although I wouldn't have a lot right now, I wouldn't need to discard loads of cows to do it as well. I couldn't discard both ones because I'd still be short on the old strength there. So I'd really like to do 2. You could do your discarding. It's using it a bit early, but it might help me to get things in my hand as well. Yeah, let's see what we get first. I'm going to do my discarding. So draw 2 cards. Oh yeah, we skip the occupied spots, don't we? So I've inadvertently given Pedro an extra movement there. So my hand at the moment, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. So I've got another 2 and another 1, and I've got to discard 2. Well, I'll probably just discard the 1s then. So we could, if we discarded everything at this point, I'm pretty much guaranteeing I will draw the exhaustion card, which I kind of want. And I would have 7 strength. I can help up to 2 Granjeros with this action. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. The downside is, using 4 cattle cards gets me 2 exhaustion cards into my deck, which I then need to get rid of. Maybe I want to, when I can unlock actions, unlock the move your train backwards to remove cards from your deck, because they're going to really get in the way. So yeah, I am going to go there basically. I'm going to spend all those for my strength because I've got nothing else. I've got no workers. I've got no bonuses that provide me with strength. And there's no one I could just rescue him because he needs 7 strength and get 1 money, or I could rescue 2 other people. So I think I'll rescue 2 other people because their combined strength is 7. I have 6 money, so I can employ 1. So on the other side of all of these is just the standard colour which you could hire from. Well, there you go. See the picture that's on your player board. So you've got to pay 6 to employ him, but you do get a grain for having done that. And hopefully that's going to help me out later. And hey, I've got a worker. The other one stays by my player board, and that's 2 points for the end of the game. Maybe more if we get a card that gives us that. But I am down to 1 peso. Also, get a certificate was the other action on there. Draw back up to 4 cards. So there are 5 cards here. I'm kind of hoping, actually, for the exhaustion card. And there it is. There's the 0 card. And quite a nice card. Quite a nice hand aside from that as well. So I haven't got my exchange token anymore, though. So hopefully that will be okay. Next time, I could just go to the action, get a grain for every Granjero, which is now 2, and get rid of my exhaustion. Because I've already got 2 waiting in the wings in my discard pile. Pedro is going to move number of spaces according to his experience, which is 1. So he's going on there. And he is going to get an objective card. He always chooses the deck's supposed to be here. If you were playing on a bigger table, or a table you could zoom out from more, then yeah, you'd have the deck right there. The furthest from the deck he takes. So he takes this one, and it's going to count as scored for him. We've got some peril on whether we might ever score these. He's basically earned himself 4 points there. And then we slide him down and restock. So you can see as well, like when you are choosing an objective to complete, you might want to think about what's in the bottom position. If there's a really lucrative one down there, if you can do it, go for it, because otherwise Pedro's going to pick that one. Okay, that's his turn. Back to me. I think I've already decided I'm going to go for this location. I've got 2 Granjeros. I'm not forgetting names. And I am going to remove an exhaustion from the game. Just pop it back on the stack, because that's my choice. Or I could have had an auxiliary action. That is the last location before Buenos Aires. So that's what I'm doing next turn. But I think I'm in a pretty good position for it. I've got a hand of at least 6 value. I've got grain. And this isn't going to be exhaustion, so it's going to be better than 6. 8. So hopefully going to get myself on a good boat and all of that stuff. And yeah, everything's going to go just fine. Okay, that's it for my turn then. Pedro is moving 1 spot. It's copying off me all the time. Moving 1 spot, he is going to help a Granjero, but this time it's going to go in front of him and be worth 2 points. So highest pesos reward, he's going to go for this one, because it would earn me 1 if I rescued him. But the way that they came out at the start of the game, he needed a big strength value to rescue, so I didn't. Okay, so he's got that and is worth 2 points to him, and he gets grain equal to his experience, which is 1. So he's got 2 experience now. Over to me, and I am the first to go to Buenos Aires, and hopefully I can show you up here, and do what I gotta do. So I make a delivery. You work out, first of all, you can make an extra delivery if you can afford it. So I've got to think about my hand of cattle is worth 8. So I could go on this ship. It's only going to cost me 1 grain to go on that ship. Something for you to think about is when the ships move. If we look at the job market here, you can see when we move past this space, all the ships with a yellow anchor on them are going to depart. Those spaces will be gone, and 3 spaces go away and 2 get drawn from this deck. We don't know what values they'll be yet. But your discs that were on those ships, if any, each player can only have 1 on each ship, unless it's the best or the worst one. Any of your discs that were on those ships that depart go to the relevant ports, and they're ready for these extra deliveries that we get to do at the start of the Buenos Aires phase. So that's something that you want to do for that reason. I might want to go to a ship that's not quite as good, say this 7, because when it goes away, it's going to happen first. It's going to be in the first ships that depart, and I can get more discs out onto the board that way. So can you pay the grain? Probably. The 7 ship is 14 a bit of my goodness. I could go to the 9 ship, but that's also, it's in the last set of ships to depart. See, where would the 7 get me? The 7 would get me onto Rotterdam as well, potentially more lucrative place. So I only have to think about this now. This isn't the step where we're putting things on the ships and doing all of that, but you've got to think about having the grain available to do that. Because if I don't have this 2 grain available and I want to go on that ship, I've got to pay 2 pesos for every grain that I'm missing. I have got 3 grain though. So right now, I have a disc in Le Havre. We start with discs in the places. Pedro starts with 1 as well. I can, if this angle works, great. I can choose one of the places in Le Havre to put my disc on and get a bonus. You need to pay the amount of grain shown based in the district, the section of Le Havre that you are going to. So you can see in the west here, which is the only place I can afford to go to, pay 1 grain and get up to 4 money at the start. It's not worth any points though. Later things, if you can pay more grain or get into the more lucrative places, you can make your discs worth a ton of money. But I haven't got that much grain at the start. I think I will make that delivery. Get myself some starting capital, so I can keep buying cattle and stuff. I'm going to get 4 money then. So that's an extra step, something that's only in the Argentina version of you can make an extra delivery if you've got a disc in a port already. So I've done that. Then work out your cattle value. It is 2468. Get that much money and keep it separate just so you remember your cattle value. 468. I can spend a certificate to make it 9, so I'd have an extra money now. But I'm going to go on the 7 ship anyway, so I'm already over. So I don't think I'm going to do that. And discard your hand. Done that. And then finally, you need to take one of your discs, and the colour is based on the colour of the space that it's going to. So you can see some of these spaces over here. Is it? Oh, it's different ones, isn't it? Ah, I forgot that it wasn't as good. That's still 6 money, isn't it? Yeah, you've got to have different colours, haven't you? Going on so much about all of the new things, I'm forgetting the basics. Right, yeah, so you can see on all of these ships, there's a white border, apart from as we get down here. We've got some black border spaces. That tells you where you can take discs from on your player board. So it's going to be a white bordered space. Do I want a base strength to try and help out the granjeros? Extra limit for your maximum certificates? Or what I'm probably going to do for, what I'm probably going to go for is the auxiliary action. Either double up on something. I don't particularly want to start moving my train back now, even though I do want exhaustion cards out of my way. Earning more grain's an option, but you still gotta... Oh yeah, I do want to spend a certificate now, don't I? So I can get to 7. Thank you. Yeah, maybe earn more grain. Maybe double up though. It would be okay to have the exhaustion cards for a bit if we could cycle through them. And my special building is a double auxiliary action, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go for that. Okay, so had the hand size of 7. You can deliver to a ship that's of your size or worse. So yeah, I think it's going to be number 7. Just because, yeah, it's going to be in the set of ships that goes first. That's going to cost me 2 grain. I paid 1 to do the emergency delivery. I paid 2 for this. I'm back down to nout. And then I get myself an objective as well. That's on some of the things. Love trashing cards, so you always go for that first. It might be better in this. You know what? If I just ignore trains, I could do it. I've still got to move forward a bit, because you can't move backwards on the train track if you never move forwards on it. It's something I never usually do, And they are all -2. I've got no idea if it's going to be good in Argentina, but we're going to find out right now. Surely everything's viable in its own time and place, right? Yeah, I'll unlock that. Right. So we go there, we can get an objective card. Okay, so Xperia, you have a lot of engineers. Well, am I going to have enough money to hire 2 engineers in a minute? I might, No, I'm not. No, the extra 2 cost is going to stop me hiring 2 engineers, I think. Well, we'll see what comes out. Right. So we go in there, I can get an objective card. So the objective cards, they go into your deck. You can play them into your area. You'll get a bonus for doing that. Move your train forward 1, draw 3, discard 3, get some money, get a certificate. But once they're in your achievement area, you've got to do them. If you do them, you get the points on them. If you don't do them, you get the minus points on them. So have an orange cow and 2 of your buildings out. Have a disc on a station of either colour and have 2 granjeros. Now that's at the side of your board as well, so colour matters. A yellow and a blue. Haven't got either of those yet. Get on the 18 ship. That's the most points. That's 5 points right there, but better have some good cattle for that. And that's have a disc in the east region of any city and a building out. So this rewards me with the most money as well. You'd have to go for some quite nice cattle though and get gauchos. At the moment, It's not many points, and it only gets you a certificate, but have someone out in the east feels like something I'm just going to do anyway. If I'm going to get some strength, though, and we're doing trains, probably getting a load of stuff out here is possible. Like doing a train station, we don't have to necessarily go for the station master, although it's always desirable. So I'm going to go with you, Skycraft. If we're going for trash and we're going for the 18 ship, let's go big early. It gets you 4 money as well for putting it out. And then we've got a direction set, haven't we? I say early. I've been rambling on for nearly an hour. Right, do that, do that, do that. I've paid the grain. I've had the objective card. We've drawn a new one, so I have something in the west and have built 2 train stations. Then, 4, 5, 6, I choose from this display what I want to go out. So I would like to keep helping Granjeros. So I would like ones with lower strength to go out so it's easier for me. But you also want the same colour to kind of build up so that it can get more lucrative rescuing certain ones. Well, not rescuing, helping. Yeah, I'll choose you. Do I want a Gaucho or a Carpintero out? Gaucho could help us get some cattle. And then do I want an engineer Machinista or another Granjero out? I think Machinista, if we're going for this. It's just that I'm only going to be able to buy one, I think. Because it's going to cost 6 plus 7 is 13. This one's got a strength, so 14. It is a shame. And I've only got 12 money. And your second one costs 2 extra. That's okay, though. We're just, we'll play the waiting game for now. Okay, that's my big Buenos Aires turn. I go back up to the start and gear up for the next time. We get Pedro's thing back up. I think the only thing with Pedro is that he's gonna decide in Buenos Aires. He'll always deliver as much grain as he can afford because he doesn't really have to pay when he goes on a ship. Yeah, and he always chooses the tiles from the bottom. Okay, so we top up the tiles when I've been as well. I think you always slide them down as well in the solo game. That's a C, and that's an A. So he'll always choose the ones that have been here the longest. Oh yeah, I need a new hand, don't I? So yeah, whatever. Oh, Pedro still, though, he does what's on his card. So he moves X, which is going to take him to Buenos Aires. And then he is going to hire someone of his specialization. And he goes for the cheapest worker. So his specialization is Gaucho, isn't it? So cheapest one of these. His specialization remains Gaucho. So he gets to do that, and he goes to Buenos Aires. Oh, thanks, Mikhail. I hope I do you proud. Shuffling my deck. 2, 3, 4. And what have I got? An exhaustion right off the bat. But if I hire a Machinista, your first bonus is remove a card from the game. Right. Okay, he's going here, isn't he? So, first of all, he's got 2 grain. So with 2 grain, he can't go anywhere better than me. He's just gonna get rid of a space that I would have had available, basically, isn't he? He spends as much grain as possible, which was just 1. Because he doesn't have to pay the grain for the actual going on the ship phase. Skips 2, because he doesn't have a hand of cattle cards. In 3, he loads the next ship, respectively, as shown on his loading card. Right, where are we? I should show it you. So his loading card, his priority here is the yellow 1 boat. That's where he's going to put a disc. So he's just loading up there. That's not as good as it. I should have chosen a different colour for him on the ships. He's on there though, honest. Yeah, and when the ships go away, he changes his loading card. He doesn't have to spend grain to go on there. He doesn't get an objective card for that one. And then at this point, he always chooses the things from the bottom section here. So the job market moves down again. So next time, the yellow ships are going. Next time someone goes to Buenos Aires, these always slide down. And, oh, we've got some machinistas coming out. That might help us. Right. So, me. We want to hire people, don't we? I do not have a white. So I can't earn the 2 money. I can only hire 1 person, I think. Unless I hire a machinista and someone else. Oh yeah, he's not a worker, is he? No. Oh, he's one that blocks us off going to Buenos Aires. Goes up there. Yeah, with 12 money. No, because the second one costs you 2 extra. If I'd had the white cattle, I would have been able to do it. There's no fancy financial footwork I can do. I can hire 1 person. In that case, then, I think I'm going to hire the machinista with a strength. So it... Downside of that, she's more expensive to begin with. She's 7 instead of 6. And the strength makes it cost 1 more as well. So that's going to cost 8. But fingers crossed. It'll work out. And going on here, ability, when you gain that, you can get rid of a card from your deck. Let's get rid of one of these exhaustions. So now I think we've only got 1 left in the deck. Nothing else to do here, so just refill the hand. Hey Matt, how's it going? Nice to see you. And Pedro, what are you up to, pets? He's going 1, 2, and then he is going to move his train forwards experience steps. That's just 1, and get a grain for himself. And there we go. So, am I going to build again? I could discard a green for 2, and I can build my other building that gets me grain for everything put in farmlands, but it would be, if I put that in, it will be my only thing built in farmlands. So I'm not as inclined to do that. I would like to get rid of the card. I could get an objective card, auxiliary action, move the train forward 1, but I think I might just pop to my special building. Do an auxiliary action. Because straight after I can move my train forward as well. Yeah, the auxiliary action can be trashing a card as well. I wouldn't be too far behind, would I? Yeah. This old building that I built last time, it's coming up trumps. Right, so move my train back, and here the trashing begins. So get rid of a 1. And, yep, moved your train back to trash a card. And then the other thing is move forward, and you can do the whole action phase again. So the action phase here, have you got a pair of cards? Yes. I think still go for the money, right? Let's just discard them rather than removing them from the game. I can say words. So that gives me 2 money back. And we've got 2 machinistas now, so we move forward 2 spots. We're better off than we were. Although if I hadn't moved back, I would be ahead of Pedro now. But then when Pedro moved, he'd be ahead of me. Hey, we can help each other reach these nice spaces. We'll turn it into an unintentional co-op. Right, that's all of my stuff done, isn't it? Draw back up to 4 cards. I have got rid of a fair old bit there, haven't I? Oh yeah, because I trashed one as well. Just thinking, how did I do that? Oh dear. Well, hopefully we can do something about this hand before we go to Buenos Aires. We've got an exhaustion and 2 1s. Pedro. His button wasn't working. Okay, ooh, every gaucho he moves a space. That's going to move him 1. He'll skip my building to 3. And then his specialty is gaucho, so he will buy cattle. He's got 3 gauchos, so he will either buy 2 3s or a 4. Is his priority the first one? Is his priority the 2 3s? Yeah, it's not going to help with the strength, is it, at all? Right before the Granjero building. I'm taking him like the best thing, but I assume... he cares more about the victory points, so he would take the 4 over 2 3s. Yeah, because the 2 3s are first, so I'm a bit confused. I assume he wants victory points though, so he'll take the 4 away from the market. And that's his action. Now for me, I was going to go for certificate and help out the Granjeros, but I have got 1... And if I got rid of 3 cards, which would be gaining 2 more exhaustion, I would have strength of 4. So 5 at the most. So all I can really do is get 1 with this action. Help 1 out. So maybe we skip that. Certificate would be nice. I would just about be able to recruit him as well, because can move train twice and back into the station. Move train twice and then back into the station. I'm not sure what you mean. The next building along. Oh, the one here, yes. Oh, I thought you were talking about the cattle one that I'm next to. Oh, I'm not thinking about cattle, am I even? I can't afford cattle though, really, can I? I'm gonna get another 3. That seems like a waste. Yeah, should we go big train? 1, 2, 3. And move, and then back into the station. Oh, I see what you mean. It's me being slow. So, yeah, you go past the... I can't remember what they call it, the intermission or something, the little divot here. So you can choose to go in it when you go past, and that's when you could do the build a station and all that stuff. But yeah, since I can move 2 spaces because I've got 2 Machinistas, go into the 5, and then when I do my auxiliary action to trash a card, could park myself back up in here. I think I can. Should we check? I'm pretty sure. I'll find out what the interval's called, because it's not called the interval. I'm pretty sure, though, that standard stuff like that will not have been changed. It is called Turnout. Other actions let you move your train forwards. I'm not sure. It's not saying that you can't. There is an extra thing in this as well. Move backwards. You can move backwards to a turnout space and stop there. You can upgrade as usual. Yes, that's described in the moving backwards clarification. So there is another thing as well in this. You see the depot here. When you get all the way to the end, you build in the station, as long as you can afford it, and then your train gets plopped back here, so you can't move backwards while you're in this spot, and you can't move backwards into it. But then you can kind of, you're not just stuck at the end, you can cycle this. providing you've the funds and the movement. So, yes, we can move backwards into this, trash a card, which would be the 0. Why have I only got 3 cards? I haven't. I've got 4 cards. You've just slid one over the other. Yeah, let's get rid of an exhaustion then. Now, there is... I suppose it's just compensation, really. It's a consolation prize. If you go to Buenos Aires with exhaustion cards in your hand, you get rid of them for free. But, at the same time, you know, your hand has presumably been limited by you not having that. Or should I trash a 1? Because I could go to the next space along and get rid of an exhaustion. And at the moment, I'm going near Buenos Aires with a 2 and 2 1s. So what do you reckon? Trash the 1 instead, because yeah, next spot along, as long as we take our time a little bit. That's a really strong Granjero. Well, we need a lot of strength to help him out. Right in our way, it's just going to cost 1 extra to go to Buenos Aires, isn't it? Or the trick would be have no money first. Might be the thing to do, but I don't think I can really spend money on my way there. I can earn some grain though. Not very much, but I've got no one in ports at the moment, so that doesn't matter as much. I can't do any business there. It's a shame, because if we could have got... Well, it's 2 more Granjeros actually. Pops another thing in a port. When the boats leave, we'll get someone in port as well. Right, what are you rambling on about? I got rid of the 1. That's my turn. Stop talking about it and move on to Pedro's. He's been waiting ages. He's moving 2 spots. 1, 2. See what all the fuss is about on this place. Oh, I'm not doing the station, am I? The station master tile. Can we zoom in? So this is another new thing because grain's new. So this is a permanent grain. A permanent grain discount. And every 2 objective cards are worth 3 points at the end of the game. So I need to spend my money, don't I? I would be silly not to spend a money to get 2 points and one of my discs out of the way. Which disc should make... I don't know if trashing needs to be any more powerful. I could afford to get rid of that. Or we get a strength. Help boosting that up. I think a strength. I don't know. I suppose though. No, you have to move 2 spaces back to get rid of 2 cards, don't you? If you're going to help the Granjeros and use loads of your cattle though, you will get loads of exhaustion, and then you might want to be getting rid of loads of cards in one big go. We'll be able to get rid of another disc in a minute though, as I throw this around the board. Yeah, pop that in the station. I've paid for it. Do we take the station master tile though? So, the cost for the station master tile is giving up a worker. Now, Granjero, I could get back, and then we could reactivate this space. I think that's pretty good, isn't it? A permanent grain is basically the grain we were earning from the space. Can you use farmers for that tile? Oh, I should check that, shouldn't I? Because it's a new type. Yeah, it seems like generally that's what he would earn me. I think as far as I know, it's just a worker. Any of your hired workers? Yep, Granjero is a hired worker because I've hired him. I've paid 6 to hire him. I helped him out and then I hired him because I could have just chose to mix him up on the board and ruin all this. No, I could have just chose to just have helped him and got some points, but I hired him instead. So yeah, he has been recruited, and I've got myself a station master tile, a grain discount for everything. So like the thing that would be in the normal game is the permanent certificates. So there's now some permanent grain. And I have now got an incentive, gather up objective cards. But you're either putting them out and putting yourself at risk, or gumming up your deck with them. Yeah, he's been promoted. He's the station master. Right, I've done all my stuff now, haven't I? He is building something, Pedro here. And so he's got 1 Carpintero, so he can only build a 1. His priority is buildings with a hand. So he is going to build a building with a hand. His priority for where he puts it. So he's only got one. He's only got one carpentero, so he can only build one of his buildings. His sub-criteria for building is buildings with a hand. Where does he put them, though? In the next empty, non-risk building space in front of me. So that's a risk space, isn't it? The risk spaces are the ones with extra actions on them, aren't they? So he would put it there. So at the moment, while there aren't loads of granjeros needing help up here, we can just skip past. We've just got the... I think it's because the exhaustion card takes up your spot. I haven't been missing something, have I? Yeah, you've got your player board, you've got the 14 cattle cards and an exhaustion card, and that's your deck. I can't remember anymore. We started... Oh yeah, there was special starting objectives, wasn't there? Yeah, you get an exhaustion instead in Argentina. Right. That was Pedro. I'm here and I want to get rid of this, don't I? Although... I don't want to go to Buenos Aires with this hand. The only reason I want to go to Buenos Aires now, and this is an interesting decision that the game has introduced with this, the only reason that I would even give it a thought is that I want to deliver, get my disc on a boat, because the next person that goes there... Oh, they're not, are they? Because there's only one staff member going out. They're not moving the job marker along. Because as soon as the job marker gets moved along, those ships are going to go away, and every disc you had on those ships is going out to the lovely extra delivery places. But I'm safe, aren't I? Because the way that the tiles have come out, only one is going there. It just means that it's going to be more expensive. There's going to be 2 granjeros in the way there that I'm going to have to pay. Oh, but I can take the shortcut and skip past one of them. If only my train was a few further, I'd have a shortcut right in front of my face. Hey, later on though. Yeah, we're going to stop here. I've only got 1 granjero now, so I can only get 1 grain. But I have a permanent grain to make up for that. And then I'm going to get rid of my exhaustion. Unfortunately though, yeah, we're going to have to take this pair of 1s into Buenos Aires next turn. Draw up. A triplet of 1s. Oh well, we could just deliver to the 1 ship. Don't have to pay grain that way. And then it's getting discs out over here. Maybe. Right. Pedro is going to move 1 for every carpintero, which is just the 1. He's on my space again. And his specialty is not carpinteros. So he is going to build something that only costs 1 carpintero. Otherwise he would go through his normal decision space. So I think he builds the new thing, because he will choose sometimes to upgrade. Yeah, he has still got a 1 building. Oh no, I've knocked all of his stuff sideways. He has still got a 1 cost building, so we will build it in the first non-risk space available. Doesn't make that much difference to me because it doesn't cost anything. Yeah, that's not... I bought a 4, didn't I? No, I went cheap, didn't I, and bought a 3. There's still a lot of cards to be drawn here. I've gone on fewer locations this time, I think, and not had the luck in a couple of spaces that I had last time where I could discard cards that I needed. Right, is this... Oh yeah, that is a risk space. So where's he build? Does he start from the beginning again? Yes, it may be at the start of the trail. So there he goes. They're both risk spaces. Okay, he's built. That's his turn. So we've got no choice. We're going to Buenos Aires, and unless we want to stop on him and help him, can I even afford to do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hear me out. Okay, downside. We spend all of this cattle to help the Granjero out, and we take 2 exhaustion. That's our downside. Our upside, though, we get rid of this horrible hand for Buenos Aires, because it's not just the ship we're limiting, it's the income. The income's only going to be 3. I haven't got a ship to do a special delivery. Other downside, I wouldn't be able to pay for the Granjero. I could just stop on the Granjero and do an auxiliary action, but that's just discard a card and draw a card. I think spend the cattle. Do you reckon? It can't be worse than what I've just done, can it? So if I stop on the tile, I suppose that it's still like, the more that you're doing here, it's postponing your next lovely journey, hiring more people and having all of the money and stuff. But I think this is going to be good. So I still have to pay. He's still got a black hand on him. 1 has to go to the bank. That was happening either way, though. I've spent it now. Because it's not costing him anything. He's not really paying any money. So it's not like I'm making him better off. Oh, I don't have to go to that space, though, do I? I could just use my shortcut. But I still like the sound of my idea, though. Get rid of a terrible hand to potentially have an equally bad hand. And we can just deal with the exhaustion when it comes back out. Are you on board? So 4 cattle cards, that's 2 exhaustion coming in that we're going to have to deal with. But then I'm using my get rid of cards all the time on these and not the ones. Just my income. I've got no certificates, so my income is going to be 3. I've got no way to boost that in any way. Means I would only have 7 money. If I'm getting there first, I could get 1 Machinista. I'm not going to be able to get 2 no matter what, though, am I? I'm going to gamble. Let's gamble. We can't have bad draw luck again. Yeah, I'm going to get the 2 exhaustion. We've got the strength to help him out. There's no monetary reward for that. And I can't afford to recruit him, so he comes up here. So there's a yellow. Only got to help out a blue at some point, and then this objective is done. Not that I've got it, but yeah. Right. So that's my turn. Your turn is either help him out, just the one that you've landed on, or you can have an auxiliary action. So that's what I chose to do. Then, how many Carpinteros has he got? 1. That pops him to Buenos Aires. It would anyway, because he's got the shortcut. He wouldn't have even had to deal with that guy, and he'll always choose the shortcut. So for 1, he hasn't got any discs up there. For 2, he doesn't do 2. 3, he goes to the yellow 2 boat, which is this one. Doesn't have to pay, doesn't get an objective card. And then he puts out all the bottom row of here. And once I've been to Buenos Aires, providing Pedro doesn't hire, there could be a 5-cost Machinista out there. We have another Granjero that I assume appears underneath my feet, but isn't going to affect me. Then pop them down, pop you back, and fill up the upcoming. Oh, no, that's C, isn't it now? A isn't going to be a worker, I don't think. And you think I could afford to stop for a turn because the AI won't trigger the ship movement? Yeah, that was the thing that was worrying me at first. Right, so now I'm going to go to Buenos Aires. I can't do an emergency delivery. Got no discs up there. My hand, I didn't draw it. And if it's exhaustion, I don't think we can be worse off than 3, can we? Draw luck. Well, we got 4. You can decide for yourself whether that was worth it or not. So I've got 4 money coming in. That's 2 points. And maybe objectives fulfilled. No certificates to be spent. I am tempted to drop that down to go on the one boat so that I will get a disc out on Le Havre. What disc would I like out? Now, I'm not going to be able to hire 2 people no matter what, am I? No, I would need 2 more money to be able to hire 2 more people, frustratingly. Oh yeah, I was wondering what I was thinking about then. I'm deciding about whether or not to unlock the second one here. Because that's probably the action that I want to take. It's just going to cost me 3 money. I'm not going to be able to hire 2 people anyway, though. Am I? I just might have been able to hire the expensive Machinista with strength. But no, I'll just... I think let's go for it. So I'm going to go on the one boat, which doesn't cost me any grain. It's a bit of a cop-out as well. If only I could have had 5. I could have gone on this boat, because that's the yellow one that's going to go out, and I could have paid for it with free grain. Just unlucky. So yeah, paying the 3 to unlock that. You're on there. You're ready to go. And then choices. Now, piling up these blues here, when I go to help them out, it means I could get a reward if I help those ones out. So yeah, I think I'm going to pile up there. I want a Machinista out. And do I want a gaucho in the market, or do I want more people to help? I think more people to help. You slide down, and we need to do the job market thing. A, C, B. Always keep your bags in order. Helps right out. And the ships move. So the yellow ships are leaving the game. And it tells us, now this is a bit hard for me to see actually, when they're far away. The anchors are different colours. So there's brown, grey and black. And they correspond to the locations. Le Havre brown, Rotterdam grey, Liverpool black. And it tells you which space you're going on as well. You're going on 1. This one is going on 2. The benefit of 2, if it's still there at the end of the game, it's worth a point, and you get a 2 grain discount wherever you're going. And then mine is going on silver 1, which is Rotterdam, worth 2 points on its own, and better spaces potentially, just for 1 grain, 6 money and a point. It's not bad, is it? Right. So these 3 ship tiles are gone from the game now. We have a stack of ship tiles left over from the start. You notice all these ones have got a sun in the corner, so they're always out for the start, but then we've got this stack that's shuffled up. 3 leave, 2 enter. So we've got a 7 there and a 13 added in. 7 points for being on that 13, 3 points for being on the 7. But they're not going out onto these places. Right. That is me doing Buenos Aires, isn't it? Done. Pedro, where you are? Oh, we need to change his card as well when the ships move, because the next ships that move are going to be the green ones, so he wants to be on those. So his card, it's this one. I've already drawn his card. Yeah, he built last time, didn't he? Okay, so he's got 1, so he's going to move 1 step. And carpentry is not his specialty, so he's not going to do anything. That's all right. Right then. I want to go there and hire, don't I? Because I've got 3 white cows. So sell 1 for 2 money. I've got 7 money. So I might as well cheap out and just hire one that costs 5. So I've still got a couple left. The bonus on my board is discard a card to get a certificate, right? Discard my hand. Oh, that was my delivering hand, wasn't it? I might not have a thing. I can still hire the worker, though. I don't have a white. That was my beautiful delivery hand. What I do have, though, this could change things. So I don't have that 2 money right now. It's not going to change things. It's not. I can put my objective card out. So this is guaranteeing that I'm going to do it. And I'll get 5 points if I do. But if I put it out and don't do it, I lose 2 points. I'm going to get on the 18 ship, which is worth 12 points in itself, just for getting on it. When I put it out, it's gone from my hand and I get 4 money. I think I want to do that, don't I? Having done that, do I want to pay that 4 money to instead get the Machinista with a strength on her? Ooh. I'm not going to do any building, I don't think. So I don't think I want to upgrade that building into anything. I could upgrade it into a building that helps me help 3 gun Harriers and have a base strength of 3. I do have a green I could discard. Just really going for helping the farmers. And hopefully having the money to recruit them later. And there's money to be had for going on their spaces as well. Like I should have that money back. Because I put that money on the space when I go, you know, when you pay for the hand. And then when you help them, you get the money back as well as the money that's underneath the space. So I've actually got 5 money. I have put that objective card out. Why don't we move my hand over here and put my objectives over here, away from the objective display? I'll get me discard pile somewhere else. So we're committing to that objective. Do I want to hire the worker with more strength? There's not a lot about. It's just a big extra cost, isn't it? That we might want to save for having cattle. I'm not going to pay it right now. Right, hang on to that money. So we want to discard a card to be able to get a certificate, is our extra bonus here. So what are we going to need coming up? A pair. There's nothing in the deck, so I've got no idea what we're going to draw. I would like a black, in case we're going to get cattle. So I'll discard a green then. I want to keep the red if possible. I've definitely not got a pair of reds. Yeah, so then I can get a certificate. Always useful to have. That was from hiring the Machinista. Didn't have a white to discard. Can't afford to hire another one with an extra 2 additional cost. So I think that's that. And we can draw, once I've shuffled, we can draw 2 more cards. And hopefully some of this draw luck can turn around a bit, eh? 1, 2. Well, depends on your definition of turning around. Right, 2. He's going to go the shortest distance and not pay. So he is going to go his way. 1, 2. And then for every Machinista moves his train, that is just 1. And I'm tucked away, so he's not going to skip past me if he moves next time as well. Unless I move first, of course. Right, that's him. Back to me. So I don't want to stop on his thing, but that is going to get in my way. Unless I go this way. But I don't have to pay him for going here. 1, 2, 3. He is getting in my way, though. I can't go to my building. So do I want to go here and build something? I don't have a green to discard anymore, though. So no, I don't. Get an objective. I do get 3 points for every pair of objectives. So I'm annoyed that he's got in my way, but it could be worse. Right. Auxiliary action, objective card, move your train forward. I think move your train forward first. You can do them in any order. Auxiliary action, move your train back. Can't do a double auxiliary. And remove a card from the game. Gain an objective card. Okay. I've only built one thing. Don't know if I'm going to go into the east. Have built on a train station already. And have a yellow farmer. Getting a blue one is probably on the horizon, to be honest. I think that is the one to go for. And it's going to be worth 4 points and it's coming down the line. in the not too distant future for Pedro. Try and limit the cards he can get. Then that's it. Right. So Fixation Farmers is best. I think I'm tuning in to the right wavelength now. Pedro. 2 steps. So he'd go this way, 1, and skip mine, 2. And then he is going to buy cattle. He's got 3 gauchos, so he's going to go for a pair of 3s or a 4. He gets a pair of 3s. Cattle market's looking a bit sparse. And yes, that's that. Yeah, because I can't even go to the 5s. Partly because I'm skint, but also you need 2 gauchos to be able to get them. I could still get this one, though. There is an objective that would like you to have a Karakou. Okay, so I think it's time. Go to the old haunt, my tile that will skip me forward one anyway. Or I could just go straight to... See, getting cattle, I can get rid of a black for 2. I need to draw. When did I get rid of one? Oh, when I got rid of it from my deck. Yeah, I remember. I could discard a black for 2 money. All I can afford, though, is the 1. It does give you 7 strength, though. 7 strength. Should maybe have taken that in the first place instead of the 3. So it's going to go into my discard pile, though. It's not going to help me out right now. No, I don't want to skip past, do I? Because this is my auxiliary action, and then you move back forward with your Machinistas. Right, so auxiliary action. Am I going to move back twice? Yeah, because then I can move forward 3, can't I? What do I want to get rid of, though? The one of each, like the different ones, I guess? So I don't want to get rid of the 3, do I? Or get rid of both the black... No, because you want different colours, don't you? So get rid of one of each of these colours. Move me back twice. So I skip past him on the way back. 1, 2. And then I go on the next tile. Unfortunate that I don't get to draw back up. So that might... Yeah, that'd be the only reason you wouldn't want to do it twice, is to keep those 2 black, so I could have discarded them for 2. But I think getting rid of them is going to work out better in the long run. So I can't discard 2 of the same anymore. But I can move forward 1, 2, 3. And I've unlocked this shortcut. So I don't have to encounter the costs in case they're still there. I'm happy with that. Draw back up. And we've got... Well, this is what I would have got rid of. A pair of 1s. Pedro is moving forward a space. And his specialty is not Machinista, so is doing nothing. Do I want cattle? It's another different colour. It's only a 1, though. But would help out massively with strength if we're going to get loads of farmers. It's got to be out at the right time, though, for that. It's worth 2 points as well. Or we go right to helping out the farmers. I have 2 for the Serrano's worth 4 in itself. So 10 strength if I'm willing to get 2 exhaustion. With 10 strength, could we help 3? No, unfortunately not. If there was another 3 out here, we could. We could just help. We could just not discard as many cows then and help out too. Do we do that straight away? You'd want the 3 for the end. Yeah, Yeah, it's not going to come out again for Buenos Aires, is it? I mean, the deck's just been shuffled, basically. There's nothing discarded, it's only been gotten rid of. So we could help out. I'd have 2, 4, 6. I wouldn't be able to help out 2 people that way. Or do we not help them out again? It's just they're 2 points each for helping them. I could just not help them at all and go and move the train. 3 more spaces, do another auxiliary, get rid of these 2 1s. Which, as I'm saying it, that's the thing to do, isn't it? I do want to help out these farmers. There is something in me that is making me say, no, drop it all and help all of these farmers out. Get strength. And we've done a bit of that. But I think surely that's the best thing to do. 1, duck in. No, 2. You have to end your movement in the stop, don't you? So I need to move past it and back into it again, don't I? Yeah, if you stop in the turnout space. So I'm not going to be as far forward as I thought. 1, 2, 3. You have to pay for the green hand, though. Oh, here's. I can just go this way. 1, 2, 3. Right. I might have missed one, though. It's very possible. And then auxiliary. Get rid of these 2 1s. Do I want to give up a Machinista, though? Because I haven't hired anyone else to get rid of both of these, to get the Station Master card again. I think we want to move 2 back, don't we? Because, yeah, there's 2 more cards gone. 1, 2, slip into the lovely turnout. So absolutely want to spend the money to get a disc out and 3 points. What disc's that going to be? Probably boost one of these other auxiliaries. Limit of 6, I don't think that's going to really affect me. Sometimes having the option of paying to move my train might be what I want to do. Earning 2 money, discarding 2 cards. Yeah, I'm going to unlock that as an option. So that's definitely what I want to do. And yeah, sometimes they're not worth getting. I don't know. It's just 2 instant grain, and every Granjero at the end of the game is worth a point. So they're worth 3 points instead of 2. I don't think that's worth getting. Especially since mainly because the only workers that I've got are the ones that I really want to keep. So I'm not going to get that Station Master tile. Then, that's my action done. Pedro is going to move X, which is 1. There he goes. And he is going to do his special hiring thing. I think that's he just hires the cheapest person. Yeah. Priority cheapest worker. So doesn't care about his specialization there. Just wants the cheapest, which I think is unfortunately going to be one of our darling Machinistas. Goes onto his player board. He hasn't done much hiring, has he? Okay. He's done more. Well, his specialization is gaucho, so he's got more cattle. Makes sense, doesn't it? When you think about it like that. Okay, then. So that's his turn, and I'm shuffling his cards while I'm thinking. So I need to draw up so I know what's in my hand. I do not have point. I do not have the rest of this sentence. I do not have any Granjeros, so I can only get 1 grain from going there. I do not have an exhaustion card to get rid of. I could do a single auxiliary action. maybe a money to move the train forward. So that would be get a grain, move the train. It could be get rid of a white as well. We could go back on the train to space 7 because we're not at a shortcut. We want to try have one of each. I mean, we might just draw the exhaustion card, but then if we draw the exhaustion card, we're no worse off, and Buenos Aires will get rid of it for us. So I do think that's worth the stop, especially since he's dawdling a little bit. So I have one Granjero, that's one grain. I will get rid. I don't think I need the grain, no. For ships later, absolutely will. So it'd be good to build it up. But yeah, it's not the reason to go there. The auxiliary is exciting me. I'm potentially getting rid of the exhaustion because I've got enough grain, I think, to do what I want to. But it'll be good to have later when ships start costing, like, the 18 ship costs 6 grain, and I don't really earn it at the moment. So done that, I move back with my train because I'm still on 7. I've still got this shortcut right next to me for next time, and I don't think he's going to move 3 forward. He has got a Machinista now, so he'll move 2 probably. I don't think he's going to skip past me anytime soon either. I think that's okay. I think. So I draw a card. It is an exhaustion, so we're no worse off total-wise, and it's going to go. Pedro, with his freshly shuffled deck, is going to move just the one spot, and he is going to help out a farmer. So the farmer with the highest pesos reward. This is annoying because I put him here so that I would help him out, but it's just the timing wasn't right. So he's taken the one out that would have earned me 2 pesos. And it's got the green arrow, which means he puts it next to him for 2 points. And he also earns himself a grain. And then I am going to Buenos Aires via my beautiful shortcut. So can I make an emergency delivery? I believe I can. I have 2 grain on me and a 1 grain discount. So we can think about that and also think about, not Pedro, get you off my mind, 3, 5, 7, potentially 8. I might want to deliver to like the 6th ship. Because the ships that are going next time, the blue ones, 3, 6, and 11. I can't get to 11. If I go to 8, it's free for me. But I'm not putting a disc out here. Just kind of for free. Shame I couldn't get 9. That's a black disc. The black discs are, you know, your extra movement, your extra cards, your extra strength. But yeah, no point thinking about it because I can't boost it. I think more... So basically when Pedro comes here, he's got 3 grain. He's going to go in that spot for 2 points and 6 money. I can go there. That would be all of my grain. I can go there. But I could just go in here for 6 grain and 1 point, and it cost me nothing. Because I've got the discount. Oh, he's got a discount as well. He would actually go in this space, wouldn't he? The 5. Yeah, I think hang on to the grain. Get the free one, because I've got my permanent grain. Gets me 6 money and a point. It's my emergency delivery. Then, work out your hand and all of that. So we worked out that it is 3, 5, 7. Is it worth spending the certificate? I don't think so. It's not going to get us onto a better ship. It would get us an extra money. Before you say that, if you took 7 money, you would have 17. Surely that's got to be, you cost 9, 15, 17. 17 would hire those 2 people. You might regret not having money for some other location, but I could get those 2 machinistas, as long as he doesn't take them away. And then we can get the train moving. Yeah, I don't need to use the certificates, basically, is what that all boils down to. Discard your hand. Oh, and don't discard this, though. In Buenos Aires, the exhaustion goes away. So having a little rest. And then the 6 is where we're delivering to, because that's the next line of ships that's going away. And it'll get me another disc back on Rotterdam. Rather than the 3 will only get you a ship on the cheap port of Le Havre. Which other white disc? I mean, pay more to move the train more? Yeah. Let's go for that. That costs me 2 grain. So I've got my permanent grain and pay 1 from my supply. I'm down to 1. And that's that. Decide what's going out. So Job. I don't really want him to be any stronger on Gaucho, really, and getting amazing cattle. I'm kind of thinking from putting him out there. You don't have to get 2 machinistas. You might want a Gaucho. Oh, yeah, because I can't get these 5s, can I? Good point, good point. I can afford... Yeah, I can afford... They're the same cost. I can still afford a Gaucho. Because neither of these have got a strength, so I haven't got that to think about. I could put one of each out, couldn't I? Just so there's like... Put you out. I could put you out because I've got a shortcut and I don't really mind if you go out. Although Pedro's going to put the other selection out anyway. It's just if he hires in the next turn or so, they won't be there for him. Put a green or an orange out. Green a bit of a reward, orange a bit of a reward. Orange is a bit easier to help out, so in case I get the chance to. I'm putting out on the wrong row. Oh, true. Put it out where the job marker is. It's confusing me hiring all these cheap ones. A. B. Oh. A carpenter with strength. And C. So I think I've done all of my steps. Pedro is going to move 1. And he is going to hire the cheapest person, isn't he? Taking into account their strength cost. Cheapest worker available right now is... Don't take me, cheap machinista. So, cheapest worker, one of those 2. Worker of his current specialisation, no. Gaucho is that. Worker with a strength symbol, no. Left most suitable worker in the highest suitable row. Oh no, you cost 6 as well, and you are his specialisation. Ah! Okay. Maybe I should have put one of those Gauchos out. Right. Okay, then. So... Oh, let's see what hand I've got. There's an exhaustion. Haven't got a white to get 2 money out of. I mean, I could get a carpenter, and then I could put out the building that lets me rescue people. But I couldn't, though, because I'd have to pay for that building. It would cost me 4, and I wouldn't have it after hiring 2 people. You could just take the machinista that doesn't have the strength, which is 3 cheaper. I could get both machinistas. One machinist is going to give me the bonus anyway, though. Another one isn't necessarily going to help me out. 1 carpenter, no bonus. I want to hire 2 people. Now I've got all of this money. So have I got any more 1s? I need to try and remember what I've got in my deck now. It's quite thin. I might have got rid of all of the other ones. I've definitely got 2 blacks, so maybe want to get rid of 1 if I get the opportunity. I think another carpenter would help out. if I hire both of these people, you cost 9, 15, 17. That's all of my money. I would get 2 for that. I wouldn't be able to build the amazing building. I'm going to go... Oh yeah, I just don't remember what was in my deck in the first place. I think it's 3, right? It's 3 of the same colour. I'm going to hire them both. I'm hiring them both. All money gone. I would have hired the gaucho. I would have listened to you. No, don't move. Oh yeah, do move. The bonus was 2 spaces. 1, 2. Shortcut unlocked. So I can bypass all... I can not help and bypass all of this being built up. I really like the shortcut system. Okay. That's all right. And when we move trains, wow. Okie doke, I've just spent all of my money. Pedro is moving 3 spots and he hasn't got this shortcut, so he's going to pay. Black hand is 1. He isn't, of course, paying. He doesn't have any money, but he is popping it up here for the person that rescues, the person that helps out. 1, and it actually stops you from getting to Buenos Aires, doesn't it? A bit. 2, he's going to have to pay this one. And then 3, he can use this shortcut. He's reached this shortcut. So he can get to Buenos Aires. Can he make a delivery? Yes, he can. He's got 3 grain. So he gets a 2 grain discount basically coming from here. So he can go to a 5 spot, 7 points locked in. That's all of his grain gone. He'll always go to the most expensive place he can afford. That money shouldn't be there. And he doesn't discard cattle. He is going on the brown 2. Yeah, just the lowest boat, isn't he? Pop on that boat. Doesn't get an objective card. And as I said, this is his easy difficulty, by the way. Maybe I should have just done medium. We'll see how the scores turn out in the end, though. And he just puts out the bottom row. So green go there. Gaucho's in the job market. Push it down, and we're going to refresh the cattle market. Well, I say refresh. We're going to add to it. There are 4 cards in it right now. There should be 9. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've got a blue 3. There's the colour I haven't got. The red 3. A couple more 4s. And a 1. Yeah. Did I? Oh, I didn't do his action, did I? He should have helped someone out. The best reward, and he just put him out, so it's not going to be him. The best reward and the highest strength. 1 and your 5s. And if there's a tie, yellow first. So he would take... Oh, actually, highest reward. There's a reward... Oh, no, this one. This one would get you 3 rewards, so yeah. It's not even a tie break. He would have rescued this one, but there's an X on it, so he removes it from the game. Always got to remember, you've got to do his action as well before he goes to Buenos Aires. So could he have afforded a better place? He could have afforded a better place. Ignore what I'm saying, because he would have earned a grain beforehand, and he could have spent 6 grain. Remember, with his 2 extra. So he's actually going to this spot, which, you know, points-wise, it's worse for him, isn't it? I suppose it's not an option I now have, but I would have... Yeah, I would have chosen that, though, probably, wouldn't I? 12 money. That opens doors. Okay. He's gone to Buenos Aires. We need to do that. I did the cattle market. And we refresh this display. And yeah, I feel the movements to Buenos Aires are going to... Well, neither of us are really building much, are we, either? So like, there's not as many obstacles. We can kind of get to it fairly quickly. What's buzzing? Oh, Rach is going to be home soon. Right, so it's my turn, isn't it? So I've got to skip past you. I can get to my building now that I've hired, though. Do I want to build? No. Do I want to get an objective card? I am a bit tempted. Because I can move my train back, get rid of a card, and move it right back forward, and get another objective. And I mean, objective right here, I already want to be in 1 train station. So this would be 2 more, but I've already got 2 discs in the west, and I get 3 points for every pair of objectives, don't I? So as much as I do think maybe I should skip forward, I think I'm going to stop here, get that objective card, move my trainer space forward, and are we going to go for... I've got no money, so I'm not paying to go forwards on the train track. Am I going to move back 2 spaces? Yeah, because we can move forward 5 in a min to get rid of 2 cards, because we want to get rid of the exhaustion and the black, don't we? But then next time I might not want to get rid of cards because I think I might have cleaned it up. I've got a 1, a green, black, white, red. We just got to watch out for what these cards are, which we're about to see. I've done my 3 things, haven't I? Yeah, I moved forward, I moved back 2. See a new objective. Oh, greens. Oh dear, I will be getting rid of 2 cards. And then hopefully, I don't know if I can afford any cattle though. We'll see. We live in hope. Maybe we shouldn't have spent all that money hiring people. All right. 2 spots forward for Pedro. And moves his train forward for every Machinista. He's got 2. 1, 2. And that's it for him. I'm going to go to my special space. Get rid of 2 greens. By moving back on the train into this. And then onto the 7. That's okay, isn't it? Can you move back into it if it's already been built? Or do I move backwards past him? Does the turnout have to be available? Sure, actually. If you stop, you immediately decide whether or not you want to upgrade. You can only upgrade if you can pay the train cost. I think I can go to the turnout spot. It doesn't say you can only go there if you can upgrade. You correct me if I'm wrong on that. Just so I don't have to skip right past behind him. I am about to move forward loads. So we've got rid of those greens. And then I move on to the next spot where I can get rid of a pair. Unfortunately, haven't got a pair. Not going to have money for cattle, am I? Unless one of my objectives gave me a load of money. It did not. But I do get to move forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots on the train track. 1, 2, 3. I'd say we don't want to tuck in just now because I'm probably going to go back. Although when? I've got no cattle to get rid of anymore. I either stop here having moved 4 or I move 5 up to space 12. I've unlocked that shortcut. Next time I get to do an auxiliary. I might have earned exhaustion here though. So I might want to get rid of some again. Yeah, I'll go there and hope to reverse back into the turnout. Yeah. That's my turn. Draw back up. Could have been shuffling while I've been chatting along. And there's an objective card that I can play. You can't play it in the drawing cards step. Play at any other point in your turn. And then we got Pedro. He's moving just the 1 spot, and that's not his specialty, so he's doing nothing. Okay. My specialty, my thing here for getting this objective card out is draw 3 cards and discard 3 cards. It would help with the strength, wouldn't it? That I'm about to do now. Like, you might as well get it out of your deck as well. You've done it. As long as you rescue a blue farmer now, you've done it. Get it out, draw 3, and discard 3. So in terms of strength, if we want the most strength, I could draw this and just put it out, but I probably want to discard it and have it later. If I want the most strength, I don't want you. And then I'm going to have 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 if I got rid of them all. And I've only got 2 cards in my discard pile. So there's a very good chance of me drawing back up because I don't think I'm getting cattle. So I can't afford, I'm only going to have 2 money. And with only 1 gaucho, I can't afford any cattle. Even if I stopped there. So I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go 1, 2, get a certificate. And then who can we help out? How much did I have? 12. So you're easy to help out. You only cost 3 and you're blue, which is what I want for the objective. I can't afford to hire any. And that'll earn me 1 though. I can't earn enough to, unfortunately, be able to hire more. Right, so how much have I got? 12. 3. Who are the cheapest 3 that I can help out? 7. 12. Yeah, you might as well do the full 12, and then you're going to get 2 money out of it. Leave those ones building up. Oh, that's got money on it. Yeah, that does make life... It doesn't make life easier. I don't care whether his life's easier. Oh, it might make him take longer to get to Buenos Aires, though, if he doesn't get to move on with his... No, there's got to be loads of yellows out now. He's moved his train there. Yeah, a 3, a 4, and a 5. That's 12, isn't it? So I've got to discard everyone, get 2 exhaustion. But I earn 1, 2, and the 1 that was on him. So that's a bit of money made. And I can't afford to rescue any of them, but that is 6 points made. Even more, though, because we've got an objective that wanted us to have a blue. We've fulfilled that objective now. Okay, draw back up at the end of your turn. Not many cards in here, really. And we've got, here we go. Decent hand to go to Buenos Aires with. Probably want to get rid of the objective beforehand. It's just a shame. I don't want to get rid of a load of cards, do I? Because I haven't got those exhaustions in here. I don't want to get rid of anything else. Okay, what's Pedro doing? While I have a think. He's moving 1, 2, and he is moving his train forward 1 and getting 1 grain. So he's on 7 now. Is he gonna... I think if he would go past engine spaces, he would upgrade. Yeah, he maybe should have ducked in at some point. Yeah, let's pop him back 1. He should have ducked into that station at some point. Well after I did it, I think. And got the upgrade. I was just thinking because he's going to go up to this one. He will try and do that. He's a sneaky one like that. Okay, I want to get this objective out, which only requires that I go in 1 more station space. Unfortunately, I've skipped past that one, but there's better ones ahead. I hope. So yeah, you're all scrunching up. Look at the station master tiles. Permanent certificate, always nice. And that one is... What is that one? It's so little. Is that every pair of workers? Oh, where were they defined? Put things on the back of the rulebook, please. Yeah, every 2 workers. Oh, with a strength, with a strength. The bottom part is the strength icon. So that would be worth 3 points to me. I'd have to give up a worker to get it. Or permanent, 3 points for every train station you're in. Everyone you built. And a point for every cattle, worth between 3 and 5. It's time to move, isn't it? So I don't think we can give up this space just because it moves me forward 5 steps. It's just, do we want to stop off early? I've already skipped past that one. I could do my auxiliary action, but I don't want to get rid of 2 cards. I could afford to have an auxiliary action to move the train forward even more. 5, 6. So I could move it 7, but then I wouldn't be able to afford to go into the station. I can't afford to go into the station right now. Don't forget your certificate from the objective. I think I've had it. Thanks, though. Should I have 2 certificates? I think I've had that. Hey, Rach.
Hello.
Hiya.
Just thought I'd swing by.
Hello.
Hello.
Playing.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Do you drink?
Yes, please. I think my cup's downstairs.
Okay.
There's some lovely cutting, Rach.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean this seems nice. I could sacrifice a ton of movement. Instead of moving forward 5 steps, I would only be moving forward 2. I should have had 3, thank you. So I could take my auxiliary action as get a money, which is a bit rubbish, but I'm not using my superpowered one because I don't need to get rid of any cards. Because I've already done it. So what I could do in theory, only move forward 2 spaces, earn a money with the auxiliary action, and then I would have 4 money to go in this station and get that station master tile, which is quite nice. Downside of that, I would be giving up a Machinista. Do I have to give up the rightmost one? I could have just bought them in the opposite order if you have to give up the rightmost one. It never used to matter, did it? I assume I could just pick. It would be harsh if it had to be the rightmost one. No, placed on the rightmost space. Right then, with that in mind, I hired them in the opposite order, knowing that you wouldn't want one with strength on the end because I bought them at the same time. I'm giving up on movement, but we can get that movement back, I think. So auxiliary action, get the money first, spend the 4 money I would then have. It's a black disc as well. A black disc, yes. Good point. So what do I want? Card draw is always the most tempting because that's just more potential, isn't it, at Buenos Aires? I don't think we need more movements. So it's either going to be more card draw or just strength. And the strength would get me 3 money. Two extra strength. I think the card draw. Card draw. You're going on there. I've paid the money, and I'm going to give up a Machinista to get the Station Master tile, a permanent certificate, and 3 points for every pair of stations. Then we've got 3 stations, which fulfills my... I've got 2 of my objectives fulfilled now. So I've got to remember all of this now. And yeah, good point. I'm about to hit Buenos Aires as well. Like, I could just go to Buenos Aires next step if I want to, with my shortcuts. Right then. So I think that's the turn. We draw back up to our new hand limit of 5. There's an exhaustion, unfortunately, but still a bonus because Buenos Aires can just get rid of that for us. What are we going with? 3, 5, 7, 8. Still. Oh, and certificate gets us onto 9. And I could spend 2 certificates to get us onto 11. And that's the ship that's going next time. Just the grain. I would only have 2 of the grain, but I could spend 4 money. 2 money for every grain that you're short. I could pay that to make up the shortfall. I could potentially earn some more money over there. Like on Le Havre. To make up for that if I wanted to. It's tempting to leave that there until I can pay to put it on a big point spot. But yeah. Right, let's Pedro, do your thing. 2 spaces. He's lagging behind now. And he's building something, so he's still only got 1 builder, so he's going to upgrade something. If he's upgrading, the highest amount of victory points on the new tile, 3 and 3, okay. Maximize the number of building tiles with a hand. Yeah, I thought that's what he might do. He is going to go for, he'll replace his building tile that's out that hasn't got a hand. Oh, nasty man. With one that has got a hand. Right, yeah, so his other building tile's out of the game, isn't it? Okay. So what I would just do is, if there's only 1 there, I would just go this path and leave the money on there, hoping to rescue him at some point. So I suppose that hasn't put me in any worse a position. Well, it has, in that I've got to pay him money, but I might get the money back. Okay, then. So, he's done his stuff. I could get a grain and get rid of that exhaustion to get a cattle in my hand, potentially, but it's only going to be another 2. If that, there's a 2 cattle and an objective in this deck. I think it's time to go to Buenos Aires, isn't it, with this lovely shortcut. Zoom. Do I want to go and get 3 money and pay no grain? And offset what I'm about to lose. Because the job market's going to move down in a minute. Those ships are going to move past and I'm going to have discs on better places. So it's probably still worth it. I can't afford to go to the better places. Let's go for it. It's not worth any points if your disc's still on there at the end. So that gets me 3. Emergency building done. Emergency delivery. My hand, 3, 5, 7, 8. Certificate, 9. And I'm going to pay 10, 11 to get 11 money. Which means I can pop a disc on the 11 boat, which is another black disc. Do I go for hand size again? Maybe. Oh yeah, the more grain might have been good for offsetting this cost, and I could have like spent 1 to move forward on the train, maybe just to get loads forward. But I'm sticking with it now. I've gone for it. Yeah, because I'm going to make the ships go as well. Yeah, there was no risk of Pedro doing that, was there? I do just want more cards in my hand, but I'm tempted to go for more money. Like, more strength is going to be good anyway, but having more money, because it gives me 3 money for unlocking this. I'm going to go for that. Hopefully have some left over for cattle later. Oh, look, we can put a Machinister out. Okay. Panic stations, you've gone on there. I've got to pay 4 grain. 1 discount, 2, 3, 4. So we've still got 13 money. That's all right. I'd like to hire a gaucho as well, wouldn't I? If I have a white cattle in my hand, which I will have, I'll be able to hire a Machinister and a cattle. It's unfortunate I can't fill up the Machinisters because that gets you like 5 money and a free train station and something else. I forget what the... So that 5 peso... 5 pesos and upgrade a station that's behind your engine. So I could go back and get that one that only costs 2. We can still do that in the future though, can't we? So it means it's not like terrible skipping over everything. Done that. Paid your grain. 4. Okay then, so I want people out that I could help more. Somebody's never going to choose to... Pedro's never going to choose to go this way. Let's put people out that I can potentially rescue. You can go out. A carpenter with... No, I want the gaucho, don't I? No, there's already a gaucho on that. Oh, it's a shame it's in that order. The Machinista's going to be unavailable until Pedro goes to Buenos Aires, which I don't think he's going to be able to do. If he moves 3, he can, can't he? Because of his shortcut. Yeah, go to Buenos Aires. Just hire 1 gaucho and save money for cattle. Probably a good idea. I'm going to put that... I'm going to put the gaucho out just so there's another cheap option. Yeah, I want to buy a 5, really, and that costs 11, doesn't it? And then let's get a Machinista out for the future. It's going out next anyway. It's just it'll be available if I put it in that spot. So we've done that. They slide down, but they're already slid down. And hello.
Howdy doody.
Can you get? Thank you. So you go in A. You're done, and the ships are going. So we've got... You're going in Le Havre 2. You're going in Rotterdam 1. You're going in Liverpool 1. Hey Joel, how's it going? Yes, please like and comment. And hey, there's Patreon and Ko-fi and stuff. It's all in the description if you'd like to help me do things. That's how I'm able to do this. So 3 go, 2 come in. We have 12 and 16 coming in. Points, but you need grain. That's done. You go back there. I think you're finished. Pedro is going to go 1 for every gaucho. So he's going to Buenos Aires. Emergency delivery. Yes, he's got 1 grain. So the best space that he can afford right now is 1, 2, 3. Because of his discount here. He's going to go in here for 2 points, I believe. Then you get 20 points if you can afford the grain here. Wow. Doesn't do step 2. Step 3, he goes for... Oh, the boats have changed, haven't they? So do Pedro's priorities. He's just going basically for the lowest of the new colour, isn't he? In the easy difficulty, at least. Goes for that one. He gets an objective card, which is always the lowest down one. Slide everything down. It's these cards that are messing up all my lovely player board display, aren't they? You go there and puts his new stuff out. Just puts all the bottom options out, and we're going to have a cattle refresh. Has anyone bought any cattle? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. No one has bought any cattle, so no cards come out. So potentially next Buenos Aires is going to trigger the next set of ships going out. What do you see? B, and he gets a cattle first before the refresh. Oh, does he gain one? Do you gain one for making it happen? Am I forgetting that bit? The Buenos Aires bit of the rules are in a weird place. Of his card, yes, that's what I'm forgetting. Yes, he should have a cattle. He's got 4 gauchos, so he would go for a 5. So it does refresh by... it's 5 points. So yes, it does refresh by 1, and it's a 4. If I could get 2 gauchos, I would be able to buy these for 6 each. But then by buying 2 gauchos, you probably wouldn't have enough money for any. Right. He's doing that. He just put all those people out, didn't he? I've refreshed it all, I think. Okay. It's time to hire, isn't it? We've got to do a gaucho. That's my hand, isn't it? The exhaustion goes away. Sort this out first. The exhaustion goes away because we were in Buenos Aires. And then draw. Oh no, it's not an objective. I already put all the objectives out. It was another exhaustion. Shuffle your discard pile. Yeah, because my hand limit is 1 less than the max. So I do have a white that I can get rid of, which I might as well with so few cards. Hey Paul, I'm still going. Not long though. We are rapidly, with all these shortcuts about, we are rapidly getting to Buenos Aires. So hire you for 6. And that gets me a exchange token that I don't really need very much. And so I have got 9 money. I mean, as long as I can get 11 by the time I'm back out here, that gets me a purple, which has surely got to be my goal, hasn't it? Oh, the purples have different values. Yeah, he would have taken a 6-pointer over the 5 given a choice. I should put them out like that, I guess. Right. I think that's me. So draw back up. Enjoy your trip out, Paul. Then Pedro is moving 1 and hiring someone of his specialty. That's the cheapest, of course. So he's getting 4 points for that guy. And he's moving just the 1. Now, I don't want to do a building. I can't get to the cattle space, so I probably just want to move to my nice combo, don't I? 1, 2. Oh, I can't. I'll go this way, so I'm putting the money. I've got to put the money on the space. This stupid building. 1, 2. I don't want to pay for a building, so I suppose 3, because I haven't upped my movement, have I? I went for the strength. Should probably have gone for the movement. What's the bonus for a 3rd gaucho? It is get rid of a card from your hand to get 2 money. I don't think I could have recovered enough money, especially like I don't have any pairs in my hand anymore. Pairs in my deck to be able to get that 2 money. I'll get the 2 money from discarding a black. So I'm going to have to stop off here. So Cattle's ages away. Unless I skip the train movement. Who wants to skip train day? Okay, objectives. I want an objective card though. I'm not anywhere in the east or anything like that. I am in the west. I have got a green. And I could get hold of another blue, I'm sure. 2 more train stations. 3 cattle I've done. 2 more train stations. I hope so. But I think a green... And this does move my train as well. This gets me grain though. Ooh, tough. I'm going to go for the farmers. I'm going to help you. Yeah, and I might not have the money to go into all the train stations that I want to go into. So yeah, I'm going to go for that. So you go in my discard pile. And then auxiliary action. Move your train forward 1. Auxiliary action is going to be... Move your train backwards. And get rid of the exhaustion, right? So we don't have to deal with anything else. And then it's gone. Ready for us to get some more. And the double exhaustion could be... Oh yeah, I've only got a single get a money. Yeah, maybe I'm going to have to do get a money twice. Yeah, get a money now. Because we want to have the 11, don't we? How much have I got? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so then I can get to the thing. Yeah, I need a money from one of them. I've had all my stuff. Draw back up. I haven't used any cards, have I? Nope. Pedro. Move forward 2. Gets a cattle. And that cattle with 5 gauchos is going to be 2 fours. 7 points. Then I'm going to go on my special space because I don't really want to skip it and not have all of this movement. But is Train Temptation going to get in the way of getting cheap cattle? I'm tempted in a way to just go straight to the cattle space. Now the double auxiliary, I suppose would be get rid of a card. I'd be right outside the next station. And then the next like single movement or something that I could get. I might want to like just skip. There is another one though, isn't there? I never want to skip my lovely combo, but I think in this case we might need to. Right, so your discards. Get rid of a Frontierzo to have 11 money, and then we can buy a 6-point Aberdeen Angus. Because we got to get to this 18 ship, haven't I? I'm like, that's kind of leaving my mind. That's all of my money, so that's it. So we draw back up. Yeah, I'm not sure on train movements. And I suppose the shortcut is nice to get more and more shortcuts, but yeah, race into these train stations. I can't afford them right now. There's only one more station master, and it's not vital. Get 3 money right away, a point for every 3 to 5 cattle you have. It's nice, but right, Pedro. 1 for every train driver. You go there, and then it's not his specialty, so his train just moves forward once. I want to stop and do a display of strength. I would get a certificate. I would be able to rescue 3, 4, 5, 7, 11, 13, 14. Get closer to drawing the 5. Oh, you're stuck on Pedro. I think that's... And I'd get some money out of the bargain as well. What did I say? 7, 9, 10, 12 again. That's the same as last time. I can't rescue more people. Oh, I need to rescue someone though, don't I? For that objective that I got. It was... Was it another blue or another green? Oh dear. Rescue 1 of each and then you'll be fine. Yeah. So if I discard you 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I don't think I can get away with that. Yeah, I'm not sure what's on train movement. I've got to generate 10. So I think we got to discard the 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then we only get 1 exhaustion card as well. Discard the 3 for the strength. I'm coming here, by the way. I'm doing all of this discussion about. Just rescue these. I have 10. I'm not quite sure of the colour that I need to rescue. It's not an orange, is it? Can you remember? Because orange is lucrative there. That's not enough, is it? I also need to do a 1. Then that's 5, 5, yeah. For the 10. I'm going to be annoyed if it was orange now. Although we've earned a money from the top, and a money from there, and a money from there. Can't hire any of them, but these are all 2 points each, as well as... I'm not sure if, when you get the bonus for having full mechanists and you can build in a previous station, can you then take the station master tile? Oh no, because I already chose to build in there and I didn't take it, so no, you haven't got the option again. Done that, done that, done that. Draw back up. There's an objective. So there's the 5. I think I needed a blue. Well, I've got a blue. That's all right then. Pedro, moving 1. Getting an objective. Just getting the bottom 1. Making me slide it all down all the time. Ooh. Have a 3, have a 5, have something built. I've done that. That's 5 points. Ooh, I want an objective. That's all the way back here. Okay. So I don't want to go to Buenos Aires because my 5's in my pocket. So what I want to do, let's put this out. Oh, it's a blue and a green. And I needed a blue and a yellow for that. So yeah, it was a blue. It was a blue that I needed. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So yeah, I'll pop you out and run out of space for everything. For a train movement, because I've already achieved that. So that's another 3 points in the bag. And I want to stop, don't I? I don't want to go to Buenos Aires. I want to stop off here. I could stop off somewhere else. I've got no grain. Haven't unlocked an action to do grain. So if I stop off here, I've got 4 train movements, but not enough money to get the station. And I would be able to get rid of the exhaustion by moving back. But it's probably better, although I'm only getting 1 grain. It's going to eat right into the money, this not having grain bit. Yeah, because I can still get rid of the exhaustion here and not have to move the train back because it's just the action of the place. And then we can still go straight through a shortcut next time to Buenos Aires. And it means that no matter what the other thing we draw, we've got an exhaustion that it could be. Hopefully it's going to be the 3. But one of the cards is absolutely the 5. And the other one is what it is. Okay. And it's going to be the 3. Pedro is going to move 1 space. And that's not his specialty. So he's going to build a 1. He hasn't got a 1. So he's just going to upgrade. He's just going to upgrade using 1 only instead. Highest number of victory. So actually, he's going to get rid of his 1 here. Because it's worth more points, but he's taking a hand away. Not that it really matters to me. But yeah, he's prioritised points before getting the most hands on. He's done. So Buenos Aires time. First of all, do we want to make a delivery? We do. But where's it going to be? Because what's my boat going to be here? 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, potentially 17. But so we can do the 15 all nice. That's 4 grain. I don't want to spend that grain. So what we're going to do is go on here for 6 money now. And I don't have to pay anything because it's 1 grain with a discount of 1. So I get 6 money to help offset. Yeah, that will exactly offset what I'm going to have to pay for the grain in a minute. No, actually, and it'll earn me 2 out of it. That's okay. So that's the emergency delivery, and we'll save this one for when we've maybe got some grain in the future and try and get on a more lucrative space. Because even the cheapest one here is 2, so that would spend me that grain. It would get me 7 money and 5 points, though. No. Then save the grain later. No, because that's worth 2 points just sitting around on there. Yeah, but that's worth 5 points just sitting around on there. It'll be okay, it'll be okay. We'll stick with that. And I've got 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 with the permanent certificate, so I don't need to spend anything. So I've got 15. I could spend those certificates just to get a bit more money. Yeah, usually you don't have to think about the grain section. That is like, it's a thing that's holding me back now. It's cutting into my profits, isn't it? But it's a cool, like, extra wrinkle to it, isn't it? So now, I'm going to choose to deliver to the 15. I don't want to spend the certificates. And shall I get movement? Well, being stuck on this space isn't so bad. An extra hand card, maybe. Extra. It's got to be something black. 2 extra movements. Or an extra hand card. But my hand is... One of these is exhaustion, one of his... My hand is 6 cows, isn't it? Until I buy some more. Movement might really help us out. He'll get us to... I need to get to 18, don't I? And think about movement. You've got a thing out that said you were going to get to 18. Got to get to that 18 ship. Right, done. Got to pay the grain, which is 1 for free, 2, and then I've got to pay the 2 grain shortfall, which is 2 pesos each. Still got 20 cash, which isn't bad, is it? And you're done. What's going out? Let's do orange to earn some more money, maybe. And put you out. And you are both the same tile. So I'll take one on top so I don't have to slide it down. Top these back up. And we have slid the job marker down. So I've got in there just in time as well. Have I gone there more times? Have I gone there like... I know I'm going there first, but have I gone there an extra time than him, I wonder? Because the ships are going. So no one went on this one. You are going to Rotterdam 1. You're going... No one's on that one. And I am going to Liverpool 2. It's worth 8 points just for being there. And I get a 3 grain discount onto something. So straight away for free, I can go on here for 11 points. And maybe... He's been going very slow, hasn't he? But again, yeah, he's on easy difficulty. Which maybe I shouldn't have done. 2 more come in. There's an 8. And there's a 14. But it's the 18 we're after. 6 grain to go on there. It's probably just going to have to be the money for the end, isn't it? Right then. That's all of my steps done. Done. Pedro is going for... And the difficulty would have made a difference because his experience would have made a difference. But yeah, I was thinking about that like, I didn't want to... And the Great Western Trail Standard 2nd Edition bot doesn't rush you as much as the other Alexander Pfister AIs, like Maracaibo and Boone Lake, really rush you. But I don't think the Great Western Trail one had like a difficulty level like this. Maybe I'm forgetting, and it did. But yeah, the X would be higher and all of those things that would have determined it, and he would have chosen better boats probably. Anyway, he's moving 2 spaces forward and moving his train 2 spaces forward. So 1, 2, and he will go in and upgrade it and get the station. Does he have to stop though? He removes station master tiles, no one gets the points. Yes, it stops. Unless he could reach another one. So he takes that away, but I'm not having it anyway. And that's him done. I'm at the start again. Do I want to hire? Oh, you need to go away. Because you were my Buenos Aires hand. 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh, yeah, 1 card. Because of the exhaustion card, one of these needs to go. So we need the white 2. We have got that. We could get 2 money and then hire. There's only 1 Machinista, unfortunately. So yeah, I would like to go back and fill in a train station. It would be nice to have one again. It is going to cost 8 though. Should I just hire a gaucho? Go here, discard for 2, pay 8 for this gaucho, and then get a 4 cow and rush to the end. Yeah, I was thinking like, yeah, I'm not going to get enough Machinistas to get this bonus at the end. And yeah, I could get multiple cows, couldn't I? But yeah, I could get like cheap brown. No, there's not that many browns. I can't buy 2 gauchos either. But the bonus for hiring as well is good because there's my exhaustion card gone, and I get 2 more money. And I've got someone to put in a station if I want to, if I get put in that position. I think that's cool. Need to draw a card. There's my 3. Pedro is going for, big move, 5. Unfortunately, though, he's doing it right before Buenos Aires. So, yes, his big move. He is going to make an emergency delivery. And presumably he's going to go for the best one as well. Yeah, the space with the most points if there's a tie. So he's got 1 grain. So he cannot place a thing. Should have been some more grain. Oh yeah, action on his card is hire cattle. He's got 5, so he hires 2 4s. What if he can't hire both 4s? He draws 2 cattle to the market and then chooses the one as if he had 1 fewer gaucho, which is hire 1 5. Well, that's actually good because I might hire 2 4s. Can I have as many cattle as I want? If I could afford, it would be good to get a 4 in these 2 3s, wouldn't it? Or do you just choose one option and that's all you can do? Points-wise, a 4 is better, isn't it? A 5.4 is going to be better. But going to Buenos Aires, having that pair of 3s, which is still 4 points in them. It's just, will you draw them there? Get rid of the 1. Don't need your starting 1. Don't need your starting cards at that point, do you? Right. Every cattle you buy uses up that many gauchos. I get you. Right. So he's gone. Oh, but he's going to Buenos Aires. He can't do a delivery as far as I can see. He's not earned any grain, has he? So he's stuck. Some of those things are going to be worth points. So he doesn't do step 2. Step 3. Oh, we're on to the final stage now. His XP level is 2. When I moved that last thing. Did that change how much he should move now? No. Oh, his priority then, he's going for a boat that's worth 7 points. Hey, Tobias. Hope you enjoy. He's going for an option that's worth 7 points. And he puts these out. Gotcha there. You there. I like this, obstacles on the very final way towards Buenos Aires as well. There wasn't that in normal Great Western Trail, was there? There was plenty of like spaces on the board for them, but I don't remember them being right next to like your destination. C and A. Nothing's moved down. And it's my turn. So I've still only got 3 movements. So I can want... Oh, there's no people here though. I've cleared all the people out from here. So I can just skip past 1, 2, 3 and get to my thing if I want. I could get another objective. Oh, I was excited about that, wasn't I? I fulfilled that. And I might not need to move forward on the trains anymore. I'm going to go for that. Objective card in the old discard. Move my train forward a space and do an auxiliary action. Do you think just get rid of the 1? Just so that can't turn up in my hand? Move back on the train and get rid of the 1? The other option is get a money or pay to move the train even more. I think pop back, get rid of this 1. Because it can only be a better thing now, can't it? Especially if I'm going to buy a cattle in a minute. I didn't have enough cards in my hand. I've got 6 in my hand, haven't I? So that should have been in my hand anyway. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So my card drawn is the objective card I just got. And then Pedro is going for 2 movements, fastest way to Buenos Aires, and he's going to get cattle. He's got 5 gauchos, so he's going to get a pair of 4s. Yep, unfortunately. Ooh, well, we can still get the pair of 3s, I guess. And it'll be cheaper. And yeah, that's it. Me, let's put the objective out because I've already achieved it. And that gets me 2. Now, do I want the double auxiliary action here? Would be at best pay to move 2 train spaces forward, which I don't think I'd want to do. It would basically be get a money, I think, and then we would skip forward. Can't get rid of a pair, but I would move forward 4 train spaces, which is a station, and it's my 4th station. I think it's worth doing. We might stop here later, but I'm not sure. So go here. I don't need to pay to move it an extra step. We're moving forward enough steps already. I don't think I want to get rid... I suppose later, you might want to get rid later of like the other starting 2s, but I don't right now. I want to get a money with the auxiliary action. Then I get pushed along here, and I'll move forward 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh dear. I definitely want to pay the 5. I've got loads of money. I'm fine paying the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To get another disc here, it can be a black disc. So, yeah, let's up the movement. That's 6 points. I don't... a point for every cattle. I'm about to get a couple more, but I don't think it's worth... Like, I don't want to lose the gaucho. I don't really want to lose a train driver right here, especially if I get one more. It's worth 4 points. I don't want that station master tile. It's not worth enough. We could make... It's only 3 money on the top. If it was like a permanent certificate or something. Yeah, I think skip that. Draw back up. I can't. So Pedro is going for 2 movements and 2 train movements. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then, am I rescuing? Oh no, you're not yet anyway. You're going cattle first. Discard you to get 2 money, because you might as well. And the best option then is hire 2 of these, isn't it? Maybe not strength-wise, but it's 2 different colours. Might matter for something else as well. And 2 3s with 3 gauchos costs us 5, which is very cheap indeed. Still got 16 money. And then draw back up. And we got... Oh, we just haven't drawn the other 3. So nearly at the maximum we can draw at the moment, aren't we? Pedro. Moving 2. Here he comes. Gets the bottom objective, which is a 4-pointer. Do I want to rescue people? It'll be a bit of money. I mean, yeah, it's 6 points, isn't it, for stopping off? But I don't think it's viable. Do we move the train forward? 1, 2, 3... Yeah, we move the train forward 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 money, no problem. It's another black one. We can up the movement again, should we need to. I mean, yeah, grain's going to be a problem, but I've kind of got a bit of an overflow of money now, haven't I? And then the auxiliary action. I could pay 2 to move 2 forward on it, but I could just earn the money. I don't want to just... I think I want to get rid. Let's go back 1 to get rid of a green. Because then we'll have the 3 in the hand for next time. So I don't have to do it twice, do I? I just can do it twice. Right. Yep, you're done. Pedro is going for 5 movement. Ouch. Well, he's definitely getting to Buenos Aires. Definitely getting to Buenos Aires. But his action, get 2 4s. He can't get 2 4s, so he puts 2 cards in the market. 5 and a 3. And then does the next one down, which is a 5. That's a 7-point round for him. And then he's doing Buenos Aires. So can he make a delivery? He's earned no grain. He's making these big leaps, but he's earned no grain, so no, he can't. Doesn't do step 2. Step 3, he wants to go in a 7-stroke 9-pointer. I guess he'll choose the 9, if that's what we're saying. He does. And then doesn't need to pay the grain. And he just puts the bottom things out. You're full. When you're full, it just gets put out of the game, I think. I'll wait for confirmation on that, but I think it does. And I think there's a couple more trips to Buenos Aires before this is over. Oh, if there's the option... If a C comes out that's the option of an employee, then next time... Yeah, I can make next time last time. Like this time that I'm going there now, which is probably the thing to do, isn't it? So on my way, I could go get a grain and do an auxiliary action, but for what? Pay 2 to move 2 forward on the train station? It's not going to do anything, is it? It's just... Buenos Aires is a far better option because we've got in Liverpool here, I've got no grain. So I can only use my permanent grain. I've got 3 in total, but this disc in Liverpool here gives me an extra 3. How have I got 3 in total? What was I talking about there? I've got 1, haven't I? I've got the permanent grain. And this gives me an extra 3, so I've got 4 in total. So I can zip here and go from 8 points to 11 points. Or from 5 points to 5 points and 7 money. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? I don't need the money. Yeah, we'll go there. That's the emergency delivery. And that one that's left there will still be worth 5. Step 2. This is my deck. So it's 8, 10, 16, 18. Oh, yeah, brilliant. And the certificate. You get nothing for certificates at the end, do you? You might as well spend them. 21. I think I'm right in saying maybe there's like objectives or other reasons you'd want to keep it. 21. Then discard your hand, but that's my hand. That's my deck. And then disc can be another black disc, but I think I've got rid of them all. So, oh, does it have to be a black disc though? No, I think it can be black or white, can't it? Some objectives and station master tiles want them. It must be either. 6 grain. I get 1 for free, but then I'm going to have to pay for 5 grain, which is 10 pesos. Then things go out. So I could potentially... Oh, no, you don't go there. I think because we're full up, you go out of the game. Yeah, potentially I could maybe have gone round again and just tried to be really quick. I can move 6. So, like, you wouldn't bother hiring. You'd maybe do the train once more and get, if you could get to this station. 7 money for 9 points. You know, do the special thing. Maybe get some cattle if you could afford them, but it would just be these 3s for like 3 more points. And then get on the 18 ship again. Because you can go on that and that at any... You can go on the 0 and the 18 as many times as you like for 12 points a time. Potentially. But, you know, he could just draw his... he could get this card a couple more times and get to the end before me, and then he's got to have gone... He does get another go, doesn't he? So I get 2 points for ending it, and that's it for me. He gets another go. 1, 2, 3... No. 1, he would skip his own building. 2, 3. Well, it doesn't matter, does it? He gets rid of someone with the highest reward, 3 money, but it's got an X on, so he gets rid of him out of the game, and he gets some grain. He gets 2 grain. He would be able to afford to go somewhere now, but tough luck, I'm afraid. So, we have arrived. It's taken me, oh yeah. Oh, 7 o'clock, yeah. It's taken me a bit longer than I thought. Oh dear, come on, pen. This is your time to shine. The koala pen doesn't get used. And just to remind me, he doesn't score for victory points for money, of course, because he doesn't take them. He doesn't score for station master tiles, because he doesn't have them. Where are they? Oh, there. And cleared space on your player boards, because he doesn't have them. Right then, so money. I have 21 left. Every 5 is a point. That's 4 points. Every building that you've built, I just built this one. It's worth 1. Pedro built these 2 for 6. That's not train stations, is it? Oh, is this? This is ships that were left on at the end. I'm on this one for 12. Pedro is on these 2 for 16. Yeah, and he would have gone on the 12 next time if he could have gotten there first. Then, deliveries. Okay, points. We've got 1, 12, 17 for me. And then Pedro is on nothing, 2, 4, 7. Then train stations. Pedro has got 5. Cattle's going to be his category. And I get 2, 5, 9, 15, 23. And then your farmers that you've rescued. This is my time to shine. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 points to Pedro's 4. Points on cattle. Oh, and exhaustion cards. So mine, I've only got 1 starting card left. Oh, I've got 2 starting cards, actually. 6, 7, 9, 12 points on cattle for me. No exhaustion. And I put Pedro's objectives in here because I didn't think it would matter. Pedro's going to get a fair few from here. 3, 8, 10, 12, 18, 21, 25, 35, 38, 45. Ouch. And then objectives. He's going to be closer than I think, isn't he? 7, 10, 14. And then my objectives, though. Have a 3 cattle, yes. A 5 cattle and a building, done. Blue and a green, definitely done. They're in this pile, but you believe me, don't you? And somewhere in the west, got loads of them. 2 stations and another west, fine. A 3rd station is fine. And a yellow and a 2nd blue, yep. And then be on the 18 ship, we've done it. 9, 13, 16, 21. Then station master tiles. Every pair of stations is 3 points. We're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 pairs is 6 points. And every pair of objectives is 3 points. So 9, 12 points there. Then, oh, people that we've hired. Every like the fourth person you hired is worth 4 points in each row, and the fifth as well. So Pedro has got 4 points there for having loads of gauchos. Unlocking things on your player board, it's just this space here that's worth 2 points. And end the game, which I did for 2 points there. So I have got, let's see, 5, 17, 34, 57, 71, 83, 104, 116, 118, 120, I think. Jump in if I'm just making stuff up. 22, 29, 34, 38, 83, 97, 101. So yeah, quite comfortably, but yeah, not as much of a gulf as I was kind of expecting there. Massive, massive amount of points. That was his focus, though. That is what is cool about the specialization system. It's the same as well if you're not intrigued by the particular peculiarities of the Argentina version. It's pretty much the same solo system as the second edition of Great Western Trail. And with that, like with this, you've got all the brand new Argentina stuff. With the second edition, you can get the it's an extra thing you have to get, but the Rails to the North expansion is getting a second edition at some point. Maybe it's already out. But yeah, you can see my playthrough. Did I do a playthrough for the original, the first edition of Rails to the North? I'm pretty sure I did one. And that added some amazing things to the game. But it's great just as it is. I think, like, really, what is it missing? Like, as you say, you've got to be mindful of the grain now. Like, the same things won't necessarily work. There's just more options. And, like, say you go in with a train heavy strategy, it's giving you the extra option. Not only can you kind of keep repeating this bit as long as you can get the money, you can go for these shortcuts as well. So all the extra buildings that people are doing, all of these farmers that need all of this help, doesn't really need to matter to you, because you could potentially, depending on how you've upgraded things, 6 movements. It depends on your player count and stuff, doesn't it? But like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's my shortcut, just every time. Buenos Aires, Buenos Aires, Buenos Aires. Yeah, you might not be getting on 18 ships, although if you've had the chance to do this, I don't know. I don't know that I've ever played Great Western Trail at high player count. I might have only ever played it at 2 and then 1 lately. But yeah, the only thing I don't like, and it's a thing that people love, just for our particular tastes, we don't really like, especially Rach. She does not want to pay for going over someone else's building. And yeah, it's for our extremes of gameplay, I'm not going to be building a building that's going to be getting in your way. But other than that, yeah, the solo, I'm not bothered. I would love to get in his way. It's just, I don't tend to go for building. Like, I tend to like try and build train up a lot, but I don't know. I wonder what I did with the last live when I just had the second edition. Because I don't feel like I've ever gotten the deck down that thin. It is really nice, isn't it? Just getting to the point where don't have to worry about what we draw anymore. Can't maybe activate some of these things, but they're only for 2 money anyway. Oh, I did an overview of it. All right. I think I did I've done a playthrough. I did a live playthrough for second edition, and I think I probably did a playthrough for original Great Western Trail, although it came out in 2016, so it would have been early days in the channel then. I don't know if I did. I probably did. I did a lot in 2016. I think I got it late. I think it took a while to get to the shops, and then probably came out like early 2017 or something, and I could get it. I don't know. Hey, that's ancient history now. For now, I'm about an hour late on making dinner. So best go and get that sorted out. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed Great Western Trail Argentina. You can see what's new, what's old, whether you'd be interested in the new version. And I am going to be back here live at 4 p.m. at the same time, 4 p.m. BST tomorrow, and I'm going to be playing the brand new expansion to Empires of the North, the Wrath of the Lighthouse, which is a solo-only campaign-based expansion. So yeah, you can see what's new there at 4 p.m. Thank you very much for joining me now, though, and I will see you then. Bye, everyone. You can support the channel in these ways. Bye, everyone. Bye.